Like, we're talking Midwest, red state, COVID-denying mother.
Yeah.
That's the bed that has been made for you. That is the fan base that's been cultivated around your game.
Raven QA strike ends following unionization vote.
They're the people that I take money from. But my hands are indelibly stained because to support my family, I take money from that company.
This phone is made by some up people that do some up in some up countries to get all the product inside here. Do I not use a phone? Hello and welcome to the Breakdown for January 26, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, SirScoots, joined in the big TV, Mitch Leslie UberShouts. Hello, sir. Happy Wednesday to you. How are you?
Thank you very much. Good to be here virtually in a fucking box again. Because y'all motherfuckers keep licking polls and shit out there. These numbers, these COVID numbers, not a fan of it, but great to be here back on the show, Scott. Good to have a chance to convalesce a little bit each week because, you know, late December, we were remarking on just how, you know, we didn't have a lull in esports news and nonsense like we did in previous years, even though there were ostensibly less events. That hasn't slowed down at all here into what, our third last week of January now. There's still... Oh, there's just so much to talk about. I'm glad I came to the show already mad because I probably can't get any madder. God, there's some stuff to talk about today, my friend.
Again, as it happens, the last couple weeks, we wake up on a Monday and we're like, God, we just need a couple bigger stories. What are we going to talk about? Fuck. Well, you know, how are we going to fill? And then, sure enough, big bombs drop Monday and Tuesday. It's never an issue.
Yep.
From Saudi Arabia getting involved to COVID at the CDL, like you name it, we've got, like you said, a lot to talk about. Want to remind everyone at home, we do this every Wednesday. We ask you if you have any questions of us, drop them in chat. We'll try to answer them at the end of every show. Could be about a topic we talk about today, or could be a random gaming and esports topic that we talked about previous, or just a general, something we didn't get to that you want to ask about. Might not be able to answer it, might be able to. Give us a shout in chat if you want. Let's jump into the first one. You brought up COVID. We've talked about the CDL a lot so far. We talked about last week how Envy and Optic, that crew, is taking over Esports Arlington Stadium. Well, they hosted their first event this last weekend, the CDL Kickoff event. And one of the cool things about it right off the bat is we had this conversation about, wow, it's kind of funny that the crew behind Esports Engine is the old MLG crew. The old MLG crew was bought by Activision Blizzard, but before that, they ran these console esports kind of as the god of them, whether it was Call of Duty or Halo. So it's kind of like a full circle of this stuff, right? Now, obviously, Microsoft has now bought Activision Blizzard, and we talked about how Esports Engine is hired to do Halo, so in a weird way, MLG is doing Halo again, even though it's not really MLG. But this one, again, they got announced. They're running the CDL. They did this kickoff event, which I think everyone kind of knew. They have been involved a little bit with Call of Duty. They weren't involved in the Overwatch stuff, which we thought was all really weird in the first place. Activision Blizzard buys MLG, then never really activates them fully as this huge event logistics monster they are.
They just wanted the fucking player, Scott. They wanted the MLG TV player to try and squeeze Twitch.
Crazy.
That's all they wanted.
Yeah. We'll build this big thing in Burbank, not hire any of them. Anyway, strange stuff. Well, so they hold their first big event. So this is great. Kickoff for the CDL doesn't affect the season. So a lot of the players were like, kind of a meaningless event, but you know, you shake the rust off of the LAN systems. You get everyone doing it. The game needs work, so you get the game on display. I don't know if we would have necessarily talked about this event other than, hey, we talked about Esports Arena, and then they showed up and did their first event. But then we kind of get into the drama of it, right? So their viewership was but where it gets kind of crazy, you know, so here's your viewership numbers. Thank you, Esports Chart, as always. For
I mean, it's not, this is not good. I mean, sorry, even if you don't have any stakes
to give some benefit of the doubt here, man.
This is...
Okay,
mate,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mate, there wasn't even a competitive playlist in Call of Duty.
Am I event silly? Was that event silly?
Right?
Did I just pull event silly on this? Okay, I'm sorry.
This fucking, basically, this game released without, like, a functional competitive mode. Motherfucking Krampus is in scrims kidnapping people while they're trying to practice. This is the first showing of this game at an esports event, and he had 45,000 average viewers. It's just dog shit, Scott. And it doesn't matter if there's no stakes. You get to see these, you know, like obviously some of these teams are completely newly retooled, right? Optic Texas obviously changed the landscape in the CDL. Sorry, like the peak viewers 70, 80,000. Like people are not doing that much these days, Scott. They're fucking sat at home. There's not even any other esports event to compete with them necessarily. Maybe because it's the same old fucking Call of Duty with the same issues. I mean, fucking hell, Merc and Maven weren't even here for this event because they're into some contract fuckery right now. So, I mean, say what you like. I mean, it's great to have, you know, Esports Engine doing what they do best, like they, you know, like people should be paying them to, but this is not a good omen at all for Call of Duty this year.
Yeah, I guess I was reading maybe too much or more into the fact that they said it was, you know, not for really part of the league. So it's like not necessarily a show match event, but like in the sense of their franchise league, it doesn't have. So, yeah. Now, does this go back? Let's talk about this a little bit. Does this, because we didn't chat pregame. Remember we talked in a couple shows ago about Nadeshot and Hector both bitching about the lack of the next version. Are they in this weird window that no one gives a shit about this, and then they're not really making a lot of content about the new, and like their BR is in a fucked up spot, and like no one cares to watch? You think like it's a big Call of Duty issue on our hands in the sense of like this gap, and we just got to wait for this other game to drop?
All right, Scott. Let's play a guessing game. Let's do a thought exercise.
Respect, Heart, by the way.
Before today, how recently do you think that the broadcast people got given the version of the game to be played for the CDL? How long ago do you think that build was made available to Esports Engine and the people running the CDL?
Not very long ago.
Just
oh God, I don't.
Fucking like last week, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Last week. So like this is a thereabouts, right? I mean, I've got sources, right? But thereabouts. Yeah. Like the organization is just absolutely awful over at the CDL, and like it took them. I know right now they are putting out 4 alarm fires. I don't know if it has anything to do with the huge slowdowns we have with Activision Blizzard productivity as a result of all the stuff that's going on lately. Just trying to ship, you know, Vanguard in like a playable form in time to keep up with this really aggressive schedule that we have, that Activision have for the release of this game. But like, it's all fucking slapdash, mate. Right now, it's you know, and this is someone who I take Activision Blizzard money on the regular, mate, and I'm telling you, it's a fucking nightmare. And I can only assume that like internally they're fucking running around like crazy right now just to try to make this whole thing happen. So yeah, I think it's compounded by like fairly poor viewership. Like it's only a $30,000 tournament, but I don't know, something doesn't quite seem right to me. It's like you're using the Arlington Esports Arena, right? Like you're putting on an esports event. It's the same setup that you get for majors, I assume, for Call of Duty. Well, you put 30K up. Guess what, Scott? A tier 2 Valorant event last week called the Knights Valor Rampage was a $30,000 prize pool. You're getting dicked down by tier 2 Valorant with barely fucking broadcast coverage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't give a shit. You can't do this. You can't do this shit.
Yeah, that adds a whole new level of shit. Like in the sense of like, because we've already talked about the various issues with how COVID hit these franchise leagues, the spend of them. But if the game itself, and I often wondered, like, did this BR Warzone, did it just turn so much of the eye of Call of Duty fans away from like this world of pro competitive formatted Call of Duty that they don't care anymore because this is the new Call of Duty, this Warzone shit? I guess it'll be interesting to see when the league does start up, if we get any sort of spike. But based on what you're saying, that ain't going to happen.
I mean, you're assuming it's like a zero-sum game. It's like one or the other, right? I think Warzone's been really successful reaching like an FPS BR player base, right? But it's also been rife with like cheaters and all that sort of stuff. And now I mean, we talk about Raven Studios later on, but like who knows how, you know, the future of Warzone is going to be affected by what's going on internally at that company.
Yeah,
I don't think you steal viewers away from Call of Duty, but I don't think because they have esports as well at Warzone. They have like the World Series of Warzone and stuff like that. It's very popular amongst their audience. So no, I don't think they took viewers away from COD Esports, but COD Esports, Scott, is the same shit every fucking year. Slightly different game.
Oh, for sure.
Players are complaining about having to try and be pro COD players when what is in their hands is this not quite finished build of Vanguard. And year after year, it's sort of the same shit for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, and the difference, because I think about Counter-Strike and I go, it's the same game, it always has been, but the difference is we don't get a slightly fucked up version every year or every couple years by different developers putting a spin on it and having to fix it every time.
Back, every release.
Yeah, I mean, we barely get anything, let alone any sort of new version. So yeah, again, I guess we'll keep an eye on the numbers, but we're not done with this story because this is where it actually gets into the COVID conversation earlier. So Clayster, very popular player himself, goes home, tests positive for COVID, and then, starts tweeting about it. And as it turns out, really not a whole lot of, it seems like a follow through on some rules and procedures. So obviously the players start tweeting about it. He tweets this, obviously, what they went through as players. Remember, you got players, staff, and fans are kind of involved in the event. This was an open event. There were fans there. And it just seems like, again, he caught it. And in all the tweets I read around it, it seemed like he was, of the players, like one of the ones being the most fucking cautious and the most diligent, wearing, because the players were kind of in their own little bubble. So like when they're on stage, they don't all wear masks. He was wearing masks on stage. Like he was being extra cautious, right? And then now you got Envoy jumping on, also kind of adding to this, like, hey, man, no masks were being, worn. They're right in front of us again. Esports Arena, front row is 10 feet from that stage. And then right up there is the people. Again, and then so a breakout. And obviously, a lot of people jumped on them saying, hey, man, you went to a LAN. What do you expect? It's 2022, COVID. You're going to get it. A lot of back and forth on the idea of COVID and regulations and all those kind of things. So I wanted to look at and see. Go ahead. You go ahead first.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we talk about what the follow-through was on, like, COVID policy. The COVID policy in the first place was, like, really loose. How about your fucking COD players just unionize and prevent this from happening, you fucking guys? Don't give me the excuse of Scump won't join the union because it doesn't help him. Look at this shit. This was already, like, laid out well in advance, Scott. Okay, if you're experiencing any of the symptoms, don't come to the venue. Right. Well, what if you have asymptomatic COVID, which is absolutely a thing? So upon entering the venue, the only restrictions or guidelines you have to fulfill are wearing masks and attest that you are not experiencing the following symptoms. Not under sort of risk of fucking perjury or anything like that. Just tell the nice man that you don't have any sniffles.
But that's going to get you...
This is fucking Texas, mate.
Yeah, this is Texas.
I don't even think you can mandate this shit. You can't even mandate fucking vaccinations. You know what I mean? And they're saying to wear masks, but I've seen the footage, mate. I've seen the footage from the event. These guys' masks are like falling off. They are literally covering their chins. Like, it's just another case of like hordes of people who just don't think they need to cover their nose because they're worried about their VO2 max dropping. Like, absolute utter morons. Sorry, and you know what? Like, can I be honest, Scott? All these COD guys are so shocked about their fan base not giving a fuck about it. Like, all these COD people in the replies are like, no, it's just a cold, bro. No, don't worry about it, bro. You're being soft. And they're like so shocked. I'm like, this is your fan base. Your game is being marketed at like the lowest common denominator of gamer. Like, we're talking Midwest, red state, COVID denying motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that's the bed that has been made for you. That is the fan base that's been cultivated around your game. So don't be shocked when you have blokes with shit sunglasses and fucking trucker caps in every profile picture telling you you're being a fucking pussy because you're complaining about COVID. This is your fan base, Call of Duty players. These are your people. Fucking do something about it if you don't like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you're gonna change about this.
Yeah, and so they did respond today. CDL put out a statement today, which basically, I think it's doing a couple things. A, it's trying to say, hey, we did our thing. We did what we were supposed to do. They take no culpability in anyone getting sick. They say they set guidelines. They followed them. They kind of lay out what it was like to be a pro. So I think in that sense, in the beginning here, they're kind of back channeling against what Clayster said about only having one test given, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know. He said, she said there. Biggest thing about this one, though, and I'm kind of blind, so I got to get close to this, but they talk about mask mandate, right? That they did require all fans to wear masks. They had signs and all this kind of shit, right? Well,
yeah, okay. Wear them where? On their fucking elbow?
Can we roll the footage of all the fans all wearing the masks in the front row and everywhere else?
Yeah.
You know,
let's see all the mask wearing.
Because, again, you have to have policies and then you have to enforce them. If the policy was no big fucking TV cameras in there, they would be grabbing those cameras and saying, sir, you can't have your big video camera in here filming for ABC Sports without a press pass. So, like, again, they obviously did not have people actively walking up and down the aisles telling these people mask up or kicking them out, right?
Envoy is literally saying, here's what he's saying. Staff not wearing masks properly.
Yes.
Talent going to the fucking crowd and taking photos with fans. So, like you can blame the fans all you want, and we I'm sure we will. But like, they're not the only ones that are just not adhering to this. It's like, Scott, a bunch of people just got fucking bored of COVID. They just got bored of it. They said, you know what? No, COVID's over.
Yep.
I don't want to do this anymore. And like, what how am I supposed to go and work Overwatch League events knowing that they're basically the same company and this is what their policies are? Like, why would I want to go to do an event in Texas knowing that there are just no controls for this kind of stuff? So, I mean, Jason, do we have B-roll footage here of like the actual event itself? We do, right? We have like stuff from the CDL of like people cheering. We roll that. I mean, I think this is okay. Well, we're digging it up, so we'll have it. But you know, I understand that Clace is not happy about it.
Okay, let's don't even play it yet. Don't even play it yet. So
I mean,
front row. And, you know, this is the esports arena. There's probably 300, 400, 500 people maybe in this thing, rows of 20 or 30. First three guys, I didn't see the little guy there in the back. First three guys, no, I mean, I guess you're wearing a mask. You're not wearing it at all where it should be.
Enforced.
Right? Yeah.
Like, the fans should do it, but like at the end of the day, I look, I've been in a few countries, and one thing I've noticed about the US is that if people can get away with small stuff like this or stuff they think is small, they will. You know what I mean? Like,
they needed to Alamo Draft House this shit. Have you ever been to an Alamo Draft House, Mitch, for a movie going experience?
I don't think so.
So they have a really, really hard and fast rule that like your phones are off, you're not distracting, or we're kicking you the fuck out of the movie. They put it all, like, everyone knows it. It's a fucking thing. And that's what they needed to do. They just needed to grab some of these fuckers and go, put your mask on. Tell them twice, third time, you're gone, literally in front of everybody else off that front row. Everyone goes, oh, fuck, puts their mask on. Because you don't want to not watch. But if you're not going to enforce and everyone sits there all weekend and sees you not enforcing, you fucking lost the fucking battle plan, man. Like, what are you even doing at this point, right? So, and I wouldn't feel bad if they didn't set the rule. If they would have said, hey, we're in Texas, we're not even going to mandate masks that you wear them or make them optional, then it's like, okay, well, now everyone is risking on their own. They had a rule. You had to wear a fucking mask, right? I got to wear a shirt, right? I got to wear a mask, right? I got to wear shoes. If you're going to make the rules, enforce them. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know that security doesn't get paid enough to tell these kids with their game fuel fucking induced fucking hazes to mask up. But, like, then people get sick, right? Yeah,
sure.
It's very
I think, look, someone's obviously in the chat is mentioning, you know, I've obviously like completely characterized the COD fan base as being like one type of person, which is just not reasonable, right? Like it's just tongue in cheek by virtue of it being just completely impossible to say that with a straight face, right? In general, though, like I've seen what the community around Call of Duty is like, and I can see what like the prevailing opinions tend to be, and it's dead right, in fairness, to say that this is like a lack of enforcement, right? I think this game appeals to, you know, a certain subset of people. This is a personal anecdote. This is just a result of me looking at people that are interacting as well. So I guess it's a combination of people that like COD and people that interact on Twitter, and like there might be a whole subset of people that are completely reasonable. But you know, if I was a player, like I would be pushing back against my team, saying, "Hey, you guys are putting us in danger here, by, you know, essentially forcing us." I mean, obviously, they're being paid to play, but they're like, "Hey, can we not just like, you know, try and ask for some better conditions here?" Like, they probably have HEPA filters in there or whatever, but the players should be able to collectively try and, you know, set a standard here and say, "Hey, we don't feel comfortable at events where like this isn't being enforced. So fucking do it somewhere other than Texas." Well, you know, that fucking state won't mandate masks or vaccines. Like, it might be more expensive, Scott. you might have to abide by more, more stringent regulations. Like Valorant has managed to make events happen, right? They managed to do esports, so to speak. Without a crowd, to be fair, but I don't know if it's worth it. And I don't blame these guys for speaking out, but I really would like them to get together as a, dare I say, group of players, a union, and go, hey, we don't want, like, why are we being put in this position? If they disagree with how the fans are behaving or how the masks are not being policed or whatever, then, I have to think, Scott, they have some ability to sort of put their foot down and do something about this. I fucking hope so, at the very least.
Well, yeah. And
these guys are, I've never seen players that are more critical about the league they play in than Call of Duty players, right? They're very outspoken. They're not afraid to, make it known if they're unhappy with stuff. So maybe take it a step further and actually, behind the scenes, try and make something happen there to give them a safer environment.
And I think their two favorite talent, Merc and Maven, were so outspoken that they might have outspoken themselves out of a job too.
No, I mean, okay. So, I mean, that's a whole different thing, but like Maven is the highest paid esports talent in the world.
Yeah. I but they're also very outspoken. So I mean, it goes along. Like they're very outspoken about the product. We're not talking about them not getting hired.
Talking about their specific.
No, they're also very loud about the bullshit of their game. Now, whether that really had anything to do with them not getting hired, or yes, it's a budget cut, could be both probably. But they're not. They're obviously not bending over for the chaos that is the CDL either. Much like you speak out about Overwatch League, right? You don't couch out.
Well, I do
a little bit.
Like I do, mate. But what happens when, to feed my family, I have to go and fucking do what they say? Like when this season starts and I'm on a 2-year contract, like it's all well and good for me to sit here on this show and be like, fucking don't do what they say, you know what I mean? Fight the power. And then be like, well, you want that salary? That's your main source of income. Then fucking do what we say. It's like,
well, I think that's a valid point too, because this is not
transparent about.
Because it's one thing if you threw an open tournament in Texas and any Call of Duty team could just go, like an old CPL, an old open tournament, because then the risk is on the teams and the individuals. Hey guys, we want to go compete in this tournament in Texas. It might be dangerous. This is a closed league function. Clayster could not go to this event. Those teams could not attend, right? This wasn't an invite, right? So to your point, what the Counter-Strike players have done with their PA during COVID, you can say a lot about the PA and where they've tripped up and stuff. That's all well and good, but they are an organized player base. That the one thing they have done really fucking well is work with TOs about COVID protocols, right? And adapting them. And they were very tough in the beginning. And players tweeted about it. Can't leave the hotel, no gym, nowhere to go smoke. And slowly with conversations with TOs, you go, okay, what can we do? What is safe? What country are we in? And you have these behind the scenes dialogues that try to find the, first and foremost, safety, and then a humanitarian compromise between quarantine times and playing. And obviously, Riot has struggled with how they dealt with it, their events. Call of Duty is not doing well with their shit, right? Now, Unified Player Voice, at least and I know these Call of Duty guys, some of them have been tried for years to organize, right? And tried to get them under something more formal to push this voice.
You have to get everyone interested, Scott.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it. Like the North American-based leagues have the best shot at it because they all play in a U.S.-based labor law system. They can lean right into a story we're going to talk about later about Raven and unionizing and the labor boards and how it works in this country. PA, like Counter-Strike, can't do that. It's an international thing. TOs everywhere, but CDL can. Overwatch can. LCS can. It is anyway. So I love when you bring that kind of shit up. Now, I don't think these Call of Duty players will ever organize because too many of them don't care about the future of their game, and you need to care.
Are you sure? You don't want to run another protection racket, Scott?
I don't run any of them.
Another one.
Time out. I don't run any of them. I'm coming fucking... Can I push? I can't fucking...
Yeah. I know. I love this. This is Scott gets this shit all the time, by the way. Obviously, as someone who's involved in the PA, doesn't fucking own it, doesn't run it, but yeah. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, listen, I don't know, man. Like this is not, and I don't think this is limited to Activision Blizzard. I think that they're trying to make these events happen, and they need to kind of make these events happen. It's just a really bad time, right? It's just a bad time to be under the umbrella of that company, dealing with all this sort of stuff, and it's. To be honest with you, it's just yet another, difficult event. Now, Scott, this doesn't. First of all, obviously, I made a comment about the Call of Duty fan base. It's a broad generalization.
Dude,
you have to let me go on that one.
We were so close to landing the G Fuel sponsor. You fucked that all
up. Fuck him. Fuck that shit. Now I don't like that shit anyway.
It's over.
We were you know, the reality is that just a shitty viewership for this event doesn't mean that the league is fucked, right? But it's just not a great start. And even if there's no stakes, it's the first look at the competitive mode in Call of Duty, because I think prior that wasn't even in the fucking game. So, you know, it's a big deal, and it's not sort of, the viewership isn't great. But I'll say, look, Halo is having the same problem, Scott. You know what I mean? As a game that comes out to a lot of fanfare, and then its viewership, its player base, they fall off a fucking cliff. Go look at the numbers now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was fueled by nostalgia, but there's definitely lingering questions about the HCS and about just, you know, Halo as a competitive genre going forward. So, you know, it might just be a sign of the times, but not an easy time to be involved in the CDL. And then you've got, obviously, you know, their two most beloved broadcast talent that are saying, I mean, we haven't come to an agreement with the league. You know, we haven't got terms that we can agree to. It looks like we might not be there right now. It's really frustrating. And you know, so I think for the league, they need a W. They need a W so fucking bad, you know, because right now it's, you know, it's just CD and everyone else has taken the L. You know what I'm saying?
Hey-o! Dad jokes. Early dad jokes. He's too young.
I stole it from Twitter.
Beautiful. Oh, you did? Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of unionizing, here's the best segue ever. Raven QA strike ends following unionization vote. So, Mitch, what do you know about Raven? What do you know about this story so far?
Okay, so basically what happens is Activision, when they produce Call of Duty titles, right, they split the load up a lot. And so obviously each year, in cycles of 3 years, I think it was prior to this, it would be a different studio that would produce the main sort of Call of Duty game, right? Treyarch, Infinity Ward, who's the other one? Sledgehammer, I guess. Yeah, right? Yeah, anyway, so they cycled through. This is so they can get a fucking game out every year. This is ridiculous schedule they're trying to run, instead of just making a live service game and being done with it. Raven is someone that they brought in, and they work on Warzone. So they deal specifically with Warzone, which I think you could argue the most successful part of the Call of Duty franchise right now, Scott.
Yeah.
You know, hear a lot of good things about what they're able to produce as a company, and you know, and sort of how they function under the umbrella here in making Warzone happen. But all is not well at Raven Studios, Scott. All is not well at all. In fact, there was a strike. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, or at least there was one planned to be, and they actually crowdsourced a strike fund, not unlike what we saw for the Better ABK group, the ABK Workers Alliance. So I think there were redundancies at Raven, and you know that forced a strike. 2 months that it went for, and they voted to unionize. This is the first news we sort of heard about this unionization. Now, Scott, this is important because this would be the first quote unquote game development studio, you know, part of a game development studio in the US at the very least to unionize.
Yeah.
That would be the first. I mean, I guess I guess there's like the ABK group as well, Workers Alliance. I mean, these guys, like, it was like pretty much the same time for these guys choosing to unionize. Point is, it's pretty groundbreaking stuff for an industry that hasn't experienced this degree of workers' organization up until this point.
And this has been a big conversation in the games industry for a while. That developers and these various trades within this industry need to start unionizing, like other entertainment trades have done, other creatives have done, right? Other people in movies and television, et cetera, have all unionized around their creativeness and, you know, those skill sets, just like welders and truck drivers and everybody else, right? So, yeah, big shit. And then, you know, of course, in typical corpo world, this is Raven quality assurance unionizing their department, right? You have to unionize under a like group of employees, right? Welders unionize, truck drivers unionize, housekeepers unionize, and within that, you have some unions that will cover within that industry, like restaurant and hotel are similar in some of the areas within they cover. Anyway, so this wasn't all of Raven, right? This wasn't the guy that was making the animation unionizing his department. This was the QA folks unionizing. So where it gets really fucking crazy is that they obviously, it's very public. This is very well known within Raven that this is all being organized, right? But what happens is Raven decides to basically abolish their QA department and move the QA people within other departments in the studio. Okay, you're going to be animation QA. You're going to be, all these different, it's engineering, et cetera, right? Therefore, maybe breaking up their ability to unionize as one set of workers within the company, because they're not one set of workers anymore. They're all spread out into different departments and different jobs. Whole lot of bullshit for union busting is what this basically is going to come down to. This is going to catch them in the ass, because this is the kind of shit the government looks at and goes, what the fuck do you think you're trying to do days after all this other shit, right? The way these line up is just insane. 3 days after, right? So, like, this is like fucking shit that, like, all the guys in Always Sunny think is a really good plan, and it just backfires on them, right? Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll move them.
It's obviously, so this is the game the Game Workers Alliance, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a super majority of, like, I think it's 34 QA employees. Yeah, I think this is a union busting tactic, and it's been done before. But I guess where I'm not too sure, and you might have to help me here, is that can you unionize as a sub department, right? Because you are, yes. I mean, they're saying we are Raven QA and we're unionizing, right? Can they do that, or does it need to be all of Raven Studios? Because as far as we understand, like, it's only this one department. Can they not just unionize as a QA department and be done with it?
Well, that's what they were going to do. Raven QA was trying to unionize, and they were calling it the Workers Alliance, right? Much like the Activision Blizzard one. And the idea behind it would be that if it fired up as a QA gaming union, then QA departments and QA employees in other companies could join this, right? We're both welders. We work for different companies, but we're part of the welder union, right? So because you don't unionize a company. Coca-Cola's not unionized, but the guys that are on the line that make sure the bottles are clean are in a fucking union. That is the bottle cleaners union, right? So it can't be studio-wide. What happens is a studio within it can have employees that are in different unions, right? So if the animators formed a union, Raven could have the animators union that would have all these different unions, right?
Sure.
Much like a hotel in Las Vegas has to deal with all sorts of different unions to staff that hotel, right? And that casino. So they basically killed their QA department, thinking that they would then kill the union idea, which is maybe workable in the sense of, how do you unionize a group within a company when they're not a group in a company anymore? There's still a set of employees that do the exact same job, but Raven's trying to say they're not going to do the same thing anymore. They're all diversifying. But again, really interesting union busting tactics in that sense.
Right. But is it? So Risa Leibowitz, who is a Cornell professor of labor and employment law, sort of notes that this decision to divide these employees doesn't materially interrupt the unionization process.
Correct.
It might obfuscate proceedings a little bit with these people not able to directly collaborate in the workplace environment. But motherfucker, we live in the year of Slack. Jeez, these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
This doesn't materially affect them. Maybe in the old days where you had to fly a paper plane across the fucking factory to communicate with one another.
They're just, again,
this might have been a problem.
It's typical union busting. They're trying to slow the process down, because also this could have all gone away. Because the story continues, because what has to happen now is they have to actually have another vote, so that, because what can happen is you can form a union like this, and if your employer within that union nods to it right away, half the battle's done, right? Raven decided not to accept this union. So now the employees have to man up, have to do this super vote, have to go to the actual labor board, and this is where Raven may be fucked up, because now they have ammo in their gun. We tried to unionize. They ignored us. They did this. They did that. Then they did this fucking bullshit. We just did a vote. They've really pissed us off. We all voted for it. Mr. Labor Board of America, can we be a union? They go, fuck yeah, you're a union. Now you can strike. Now you can do all this shit. Like, they might have just made it harder on themselves and delayed it a little bit. And again, this might continue what we hope steamrolls the whole process of all these different jobs, because it's not departments, as chat's saying, like QA is a department, but really it's the job you do, it's the tasks you do that you unionize under, right? And again, maybe this is start of the domino effect of this whole industry slowly starts to unionize. Press is, we have the same thing happening with journalism, and everyone that works at different journalist outfits within that, writers, et cetera, are trying to unionize. Editors are trying to unionize. So yeah, we'll see. It's crazy shit. It's like we're back in the...
I think obviously Raven are trying to use a few layers of abstraction to sort of justify their moving around. They're talking about embedding people in different departments and, increasing synergy and, yada, yada, yada. But
synergy.
It's interesting that, Activision Blizzard is, and Raven by extension are not interested in acknowledging these unions. So it's not going to be that simple at all. But hopefully they continue to lead the way. And I mean, worth pointing out is that this union have named themselves as such, so not specific to a Raven, QA, so that other people in the industry could join them. So again, this is not just a union that will only be specific to this very small niche. It could be industry-wide potentially. So, kudos to them for stepping up and making this happen. Hopefully they can do that because, you do need a super majority a lot of the time to make this kind of stuff happen. Again, another. It's just more bad press for this whole Activision Blizzard umbrella here. And maybe it's standard to not, acknowledge these de facto unions, I guess, but it doesn't look good. It's just another black mark against a company that is plagued by absolute PR crises every other week.
Yep. And it's kind of funny, too, because it's QA. And QA seems to always be the butt of every developer joke. Oh, the QA people, they didn't do their job. Like, it's not a very glamorous part of the creative process of making a video game. It's not like the John Romero's, the big fancy lead developer guys or anything like. These are the Q&A people, right? The blue collar of the gaming industry, in a way, if you will. So again, I hope they do it, because then QA can all jump on board from all different companies, and hope it just leads to other jobs doing it in the industry. Again, just like players are trying to do in esports. Again, it's look around the world, very unionized world we live in. Worker rights, workers unite.
Anyway. Well, I think it is important for us to keep an eye on this, because it can definitely impact the industry in a big way. I actually think a few of the stories we're talking about today, Scott, have really industry-wide implications. So hopefully we can keep circling back to this as often as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something that's maybe a little bit more lighthearted, I guess. We don't have a lol, this NFT project is a scam segment for this week, but we do have something. We do have something blockchain related, I suppose. Yeah, for those of you that I know out there we're really waiting for us to talk about your favorite topic. We found out this week in news that Fwiz, Ryan Wyatt, who what did he do before YouTube? I don't even know. He to me represents the silver fox, like the esports money, along with the Sundance and the Sepsos and all that. But this guy was at YouTube gaming for a long time.
Yeah,
I guess he was one of the first there when they really started to sort of open that department up and try and make stuff happen. He's leaving. Ryan Wyatt, if someone has an ETH handle in their Twitter username, they're serious.
Ryan's into the future for sure.
Yeah, he's out there typing GM every fucking morning and shit like that. Like this guy's a degen. He's a big NFT degen. He is joining Polygon. Polygon is a blockchain. It's a layer 2 solution on the Ethereum blockchain. I personally like Polygon because the idea is that it's supposed to help the Ethereum blockchain with things like scalability, and basically reduce the fucking ridiculous energy consumption and the amount of time it takes to. It basically makes Ethereum reasonable for applications other than trying to fucking scribe a Rosetta Stone or send a fucking piece of snail mail. Anyway, so it's a proof of stake side chain, but it is attached onto the Ethereum blockchain. So again, if you hate Ethereum because of the environmental impact, then Polygon is designed to help with that, but doesn't ameliorate it entirely, because a lot of this also depends on adoption. But yeah, Ryan is heading over towards Polygon Studios, which is it's a subsidiary of the company. The ticker is Matic, if you've ever seen it, because I think it used to be called the Matic Network and they changed the name. So he'll be quote unquote growing the developer ecosystem through investment, marketing, and developer support, and bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. Our favorite buzzword is Web 3. We'll see what that's supposed to mean. Right now, a lot of blockchains don't make sense for gaming because they're too slow and too unwieldy. And we also mostly have determined we don't need them to pervade gaming to such a degree. I haven't had anyone evangelize it to me effectively enough for me to be like, oh, every game needs to be on a blockchain. But Fwiz has made his money on NFTs. But even before that, he was loaded. So I think he's just really interested in this kind of stuff. He's been advocating a lot for the blockchain and gaming interaction. It's just a bad time to be sort of trying to push that angle, I think, because people are either educated about the topic and they're sick of hearing about it, or they're not educated about the topic and they're really enjoying getting angry at random people on the internet about it. So good luck to him. I think Polygon's what they are aiming to do as a layer 2 solution is really important. Whether it's going to be as crucial once Ethereum moves to a proof of stake model itself, I don't know. Because but we'll see. Good luck to him. It's a little bit obscure, I think, considering the move. But they're paying him mad crypto money to do this. So I'm sure he got a fucking pay rise.
Yeah, and I've known Fwiz forever. I mean, the guy used to be a Call of Duty player. He played for Optic on one of their squads. Was an old man of Optic after that. He was a commentator. Him and Hasbro used to commentate fucking MLG. That's when I first met them. And he worked. One of my funniest Ryan stories is we were at, I want to say MLG Raleigh back in the day, and he was working for Machinima at the time. He's had quite a career: Machinima, MLG, and then YouTube after MLG. And he was selling. Machinima had this 250 CPM contract in perpetuity, right? And this was the going drama about how are you gonna fucking sign people to a shit CPM forever, And so I just remember I bumped into him in the lobby, and I was with EG, and he's like, "Hey, y'all want to?" And I'm shut the fuck. No, Ryan, we're not biting your shit ass deal of $2.50 CPM. He then very quickly, the whole perpetuity thing at Machinima was fucking crazy. And then when he went to YouTube, I was like, oh, this is just some sort of vanity hire by YouTube. This, because again, I'm an older guy. So I'm like, this kid, what do you mean YouTube gaming? Sure. He's been there 8 years. This guy obviously did some fucking work. And I've always thought he had a good work ethic, but I thought it was maybe a little bit of a vanity hire, But he's built and tried to come at Twitch the best they could, right? With trying to help the live streaming platform, get gaming more prevalent. Mobile, they're all over. So good on him. I guarantee he got a bag of fucking Google stock somewhere along the way as well. So he's cashing that out into some new crypto stuff like you just said with the new deal. Well,
I mean, I'm sure he's getting paid in boring old fiat currency. But look, he was an important advocate for gaming to YouTube, right? He was really huge. He was a part of connecting. Listen, we're on Twitch right now, right?
We are.
We have Twitch staff that come into this chat. I don't care. Twitch's monopoly needs to be fucking broken. Well, it's actually one of the biggest things that's holding this industry back. What I liked, what Ryan was doing was sort of trying to advocate to Google side and the Twitch side, and to sort of, create a pathway for a platform for gaming content for esports to be developed there. And he kind of did that, right? He brought the league over there, and CDL was there, and I think there's still a lot of work to be done there, Scott. But I think it was he did a lot for this industry, even if not much for Twitch.
Well, if anything, other than the esports side of it, I would say that Courage, Tim the Tapman, these people that are all friends and compadres, I think Ryan himself probably had a lot to do with those guys switching platforms. And yeah, sure, money talks and all those things, but they're all kind of bros in a way too. So I bet that helped. Now, I don't mean that that's going to hurt now that Ryan's not there to get more people converted from Twitch to YouTube, but they're losing a big now endemic, we like this word authentic, endemic, these kind of words. He was that to us. He came from this world. They've lost that now. Now I'm sure he's got people. I don't know who's taking his place, but and I have no understanding of this new stuff. So what I want to ask you, Ryan, if you ever watch this clip and hit me up on my DMs, you say I'll be leading the Polygon studio organization across gaming, entertainment, fashion, news, sure, sports, and more. Are we fucking and more at esports now? Esports made you, bitch. I wish you the best of luck, Ryan.
No offense, but Ryan, it strikes me as the and more kind of guy.
Son of a
all right?
bitch.
Guy is so classically, charismatically American money. I'll be honest with you, regardless of where he came from.
He's dumping it.
Look, and I'm telling you, Polygon is exciting in terms of what it can achieve if you care about the problems that Ethereum as a blockchain has. Because interoperability and scalability is dog shit on that fucking blockchain. You can't have games on the Ethereum blockchain because it takes like so long to do anything with it. It's a fucking dinosaur by comparison these days. So like, you know, hopefully, I don't know what, like, this is very ambitious. I'll be honest with you. News and sports and okay, maybe they want to be a media conglomerate. I'm a little confused about what his role is supposed to be, but I'm not surprised that he's selling it in such a grandiose fashion.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's definitely a lot of fans out there of the tech. So with that, again, good luck, Ryan. I do tease you about not saying esports, but I wish you the best of luck in the future. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back... No, wait. Am I going to break? No, I'm not going to break. I flipped the page too early. Sorry, Jason's in my ear yelling at me. You know? One thing I wanted to bring up...
I thought this guy has been like a host in esports for like so fucking long. This is like this is like the fucking... Yeah, this is the monolith of esports here for getting to read his run of show. Unreal.
Dude, I did a shit talk show with DJ Weed and Slasher for years that didn't even have a fucking run of show. And then I hosted like 7 Counter-Strike events in my career. 7 or something. That's it. And only because they couldn't find anyone else.
You hosted the Columbus Major.
Well, sure, but they couldn't find anybody else, you know? And then better people came around and I stopped doing them. Anyway, I want to try to, not always every week, but like we obviously talk about drama. We talk about shit news and stuff that's not fun and like uplifting. And one of the first things I talked about when I opened the Breakdown 2 years ago when I started this show, when I was soloing, and thank God you're here, was I highlighted this new little thing called Juked. And so I told Jason, you know what? I want to highlight Juked again because it's been a couple years and these fuckers are making waves. They got apps going. And I want to just give a little shout out and to our audience, if you haven't heard of Juked yet, you need to see what this Juked thing's all about because it's grown from when I gave it a shout out. We had Ben on. We had a little conversation. He made a little video, talked about Juked. What Juked is, if you're old like me, is the TV guide of all things fucking esports, right? When I was growing up, there was no internet when I grew up, and you literally every week had to buy the TV guide. It'd sit in the living room, and that's how you looked up what you were gonna fucking watch, right? Then it started coming in the newspapers. Then it came online. Now you just turn on your TV, hit your fucking guide button. It's right there in front of you. So what they did, and what actually Ben was involved in, Ben is Fish Sticks. You'll hear me call him both things. Ben, before he joined Justin TV, that then became Twitch, he had this idea of this years ago. Gamecast TV, I think is what he called it. And the idea was to like a central place to figure out what shit was on that I care about for esports. Well, he went to Twitch for many, many years. He recently left Twitch a couple years ago, fired up Juked. And it is the end-all, be-all, find what your favorite esports is. And it's a really, really cool tool. If it was just a website, it would be badass, right? You log in, you have an account. I say I care about League of Legends. I care about Counter-Strike. At one point, I think he was doing podcasts and shows like us. I think he put that on the back burner as they do more of the actual...
Yeah, no, I think he casted the first... I fucking hate that I had to say this.
No. I mean,
Ben knows it.
No, I mean, he was showing the schedule of shows like this. Like, the Breakdown could be in your weekly calendar.
Oh, sorry. I think you're talking about his history. My bad.
Yes. Ben goes way back. Ben was casting Overwatch.
He was a caster.
Yeah.
He fucking cast the first ever Overwatch tournament that happened ever. The prick did it on the fucking day, the closed beta release.
Yep.
I lost out to him by like 12 hours. Like, the guys behind this project... and Chanman's with it as well. Motherfucking shit.
Chanman's involved.
Yeah, I love these guys.
And so, I wanted to bring it back up.
You off with something that was related.
And what's happened in the last couple of years is obviously it's blown up. They did a really cool public raise where people like you could publicly get involved in the company, and then they've done some more private raises. Some of the ex-Twitch guys are involved. So what they've done since I last talked about it is not only the website is getting flushed out with far more APIs that talk to far more tournament organizers, and I think YouTube, before it was just Twitch, I think YouTube Live and all that's now involved. But where it gets really crazy is it's now on the iOS in beta, I believe, and Android is coming. And the interesting thing, the reason I want to bring it up and talk about it, because I want to keep an eye on it, is they have thrown this gauntlet down, Mitch, about keeping their community toxic fucking free. So not just a TV guide where you can, but a community. They're building a community beyond this TV guide where you can go talk about the latest matches.
Are we talking like a heavily moderated
social media place where hate don't live? Now, again, a lot of shiny words, a lot of shiny talk. We'll see how it scales, right? When you got a community that is manageable, it's one thing. If this thing blows up and you've got thousands upon thousands of people all trying to talk, it gets into your tools, it gets into your moderation, but they are trying to make it a very, very positive, non-toxic place. They want discussion, but of that tone. So, that one, I'm like, well, fuck, have you been on the internet, Ben? Good luck with that.
Well, I think that's great. And I think there's
awesome.
There's no shortage of people that want to be a part of that. And I actually think that the moderation might not even be that bad because people are opting into Juked, right? It's not like it's something that you kind of have to be on like Twitter, but it's something that might enhance your experience of just, of being a part of a fandom and being part of the community. And by the way, even before the community aspect of the site was established, I was using it daily to try and aggregate all the fucking esports events that were going on. Like Ben and Chris had they had a bunch of stuff on there, like straight off the bat, and I was able to use it, to navigate things really well. So I think it's fine. I think there's probably a small subset of people that'll snort with derision at that idea. But this is if people want to opt into a space that is, there's a very clear and strong expectation for behavior that is set. I think it's great.
Yep.
I hoped even as part of my, faith in humanity, I hope there will be a demand for a tool like this. I backed this project early on because I believed in the guys that were involved. So big shout out to the guys at Juked. They're really, I really like the direction they're going in. I have no idea how it works because I think like 95% of esports people are kind of toxic, even me on a good day. So good luck to them. I love those guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid decision to literally cut off your user base to police it, because that's what they're going to do. Less people will, but that's admirable. And as long as you can hit that magic number and have a nice revenue running business for you, that's great. A really, really cool tool, costs you nothing. Definitely make an account. If you're interested in checking out the beta, again, I think iOS is in beta, Android not yet, but coming. They got a nice Discord. Again, super cool dudes. And again, a very positive, additive thing that costs none of us anything to use and kind of support. Watch some ads. They're making a little bit of content.
Because it costs nothing to be nice, my guy.
Costs nothing to be nice.
Being nice is free. Cry is free, but so is being nice.
And they're making a little content. They do a little like a weekly wrap-up Discord show that they then record and put on YouTube. So again, they have an aggregate site. So now they're doing some aggregate content about the aggregate site. Hey, check this top clip out. These kind of things. Again, really cool stuff. So again, continued good luck over there, Ben and gang. It's quite a few people over there now, so it's not just Ben. Now we will take our little break because I got to go to the bathroom.
We got some shit to do.
We got some big shit. After the break, we're talking about Liquid getting into the World of Warcraft space in a huge way, not limited at all, and ESL. You like that one? Dad joke there? ESL Faceit, got no joke, not gonna make one, don't wanna die. See you after the break.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Breakdown, featuring myself, Mitch Leslie, here with SirScoots. And again, another week. We're halfway through the show, thereabouts. Who knows how much longer this segment could go for, though. And we've got plenty of stuff to cover still. Scott, let's talk about a game that really hasn't had great publicity lately, especially standing in the shadow of the critically acclaimed MMO from Square Enix, Final Fantasy XIV, of course. It's World of Warcraft, which has, in the past, had a rather lively esports scene, although it seemed to me, even with the sort of Race to World First and the Mythic Dungeon Invitationals, it's pretty quiet. It's always been kind of grassroots, the World of Warcraft esports scene. But Team Liquid has seen fit to make an investment, and they've acquired Limit, the top guild, I would say, globally, at least in North America. So they are making their foray in a World of Warcraft, Scott? You dabbled, bro? You dabbled?
I mean,
didn't the gold shits happen very much?
I mean, I would say I've dabbled as a producer. You know, Jason and I are world famously known for launching.
I'm not a monolith of esports.
World
I don't do
of
too much. I got replaced by
Warcraft esports. Burning Crusade, when they first started doing arenas, we figured out how to observe that shit first. MLG had a circuit, so we worked for GotFrag back in the day. So, but no, never really a player of MMOs in general. But really, really intrigued the last couple of years about because obviously WoW arena esports have been around for a while and come and gone and ebbed and tide in popularity. But this race for the world's first kind of stuff has always been really, as an outsider, really interesting to me. That so many people, I get it as a player, but like the viewership numbers have always blown my mind because obviously for pre-drama of Method Limit were these two big going at it, right? And I've just always been blown away by how many people cared about watching, blown away by it. So it doesn't surprise me that Liquid's doing this. Keep in mind, Limit had a naming rights sponsorship with Complexity. The last set of World's First, right? And they did that out of the Dallas facility they did their streams and everything out of. This is a whole different level. They've literally bought Limit, merged them into the world of Liquid, right?
Yes,
it goes away.
It's not Liquid Limit or anything like that. They have acquired the guild as they would, as you sort of would any other esports team, and brought them under their umbrella. To be clear, to my understanding, Limit they're Mythic Raiders. We're not talking about Arena here.
Correct.
And we're not really talking about Mythic Dungeon either. It's a very different way of playing. I mean, look at the screen right now, right? Mythic raiding is fucking hard. And when you are trying to do it first with gear that, because as the expansion goes on, right, like you get better gear. Like the game just gives you better gear. It makes this content easy to do. But we are talking about people that are doing this content with the weakest possible gear. And they've all got every class is geared up. They are constantly playing. This is legit.
Yeah.
Right? These players are legitimate professionals. And my mind is blown as well because I have Mythic Raided. I Mythic Raided Shadowlands. I think the first couple bosses, I think, and then I got pretty busy. But this is so hard. I mean, Scythe and Athreus on Heroic was so fucking hard at the time when gear was current here. So, I'm surprised that so many people watch it only because it's so complicated. As someone who was rated Mythic, again, admittedly later on in the tier when it was a bit easier, I still don't get what the fuck is going on when I watch the broadcast because everyone has their own LVUI set up here. So this is like an external UI service. You can put it together, and there's so many buzzwords and stuff, and it's very in the weeds, Scott. It's without a doubt, it requires you to be an incredible competitor, incredible gamer. But it blows my mind that so many people watch it when it's just so darn confusing.
I think a part of it has to, it translates to how many people play the game, right? When it comes to esports, a very, very popular game has a good chance of having a better viewership because, again, your pool of people that might care is big. So, wow. I remember, again, back to that MLG thing, and again, it's all about me and Jason, so I'm going to talk about it. When we did that, I remember, we had 30,000 concurrents on our peak, right? And we destroyed their live Halo, right? It was minuscule in comparison to what we were doing at World of Warcraft in San Diego, wherever this event was. And I was like, Jason, how is that possible? And he's like, Scott, do you know how many millions of people subscribe and play WoW? That's who's tuning in. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're already and this is where it also get Halo console game, not in front of you where you can watch, whereas someone plays WoW, they're on a PC, much easier to watch a stream. It all lined up for me. I'm like, oh my God, that does make sense. It's easier to view, and a lot more people are playing the game, so they might care. So very, very interesting. And I think on the Liquid thing, a lot of people might not know, maybe a lot of people do know, they own a production company, right? They own Level Up Production or Level 1, Level Up. They all their commercials, all the stuff for sponsors, they have a full little production company in California. So I imagine what they're going to do, and they just today announced this big deal with this thing in Washington, D.C. I don't know if it'll be ready in time, but I imagine that their production level of this next run is going to be fucking sick. right? Because they do really, really cool shit. Mike and that gang on the production side, they don't fuck around. They just make really nice content. One Up Studios, thank you very much for. Hey, Tempest Rob, how are you? I get it, and what we don't know how much they paid. Like, we don't know if this was, we don't know what this was. What we do know is that they've engulfed them, and the guy that owned Liquid, or the main guy, the guy that owned Limit, got a piece of Liquid as part of his, right? They've made him a shareholder owner. Now, we don't know what that size is either, but again, very, very cool. And what'll be interesting is now, will Complexity go after a different team? Was that their dip into the water? Will they build something else? But again, we'll just keep an eye on it. Really, really neat shit. And then
I think it's interesting. I don't know how much they paid, Scott, but I know a lot of people do tune into Race for World first, but in terms of like mythic rating content, right? It's only it's multiple. I guess it's multiple times each expansion once new raid tiers come out, but it's not that frequent, right? Like, they're paying obviously X amount for this team to, I would assume, bring them in house and run like a Race to World first production in house with their own talent, all that other stuff. I just think it's curious because I never really got the impression, at least not recently, especially with the collapse of Method, that the sort of World of Warcraft mythic rating scene was sort of burgeoning, was popping off. Like, Liquid are the kind of organization that, to my experience, have made smart investments in a lot of their esports properties. It's just an interesting time, I think, to go for WoW, especially when there was a lot of dissatisfaction expressed by the player base about Shadowlands as an expansion. A lot of things about it people really didn't enjoy, whether it was the legendaries or the more, or just the way the content came out, and even the latest patches. Like, people were like, yeah, it's it's not great. You're getting almost like a Warlords of Draenor vibe from some people's opinions of it. I played Shadowlands, played to like the end of the heroic raid, so not that far at all. I thought it was fine. It didn't really sort of draw me in, but I'm curious about the timing of this. You know what I mean? And what this is supposed to herald. Maybe there's something in the future for World of Warcraft that makes this even more of a bang for your buck kind of deal. I really don't know.
Well, yeah, and without knowing the deal cost, this might have been a steal, because again, it's like, I think it's like a 9-day show when they do these, because you have like the early days where they're getting going. But I think I read somewhere that it's like 8 or 9 days of this race twice a year, give or take, right? So 18 or so days of content plus whatever you do around that. But if these numbers are really good, and I know that Twitch likes World of Warcraft, Twitch could have helped this. They could have helped Liquid make this possible by saying, hey, when you do these 18 days, we'll pay you X amount. Could have covered a whole lot of that production cost for those 18 days. And if they didn't have to, again, pay billions and millions of dollars to get the IP of the company, so to speak, maybe this was a really, really easy deal for Liquid to get them into WoW, right? With Twitch's help. Because it's content. They didn't buy an esports team that's going to go play in the Counter-Strike circuit. They bought a team that makes content, right? And again, maybe they've found a way to monetize that content a lot more than we're thinking, I guess.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I don't know. Like, I didn't really, these guys are barely getting paid. Like, there are like top rating. Like, it's been, Cryptic's saying in the chat here on Twitch that Max has said the reason they even went to Complexity in the first place is because they were getting the Raiders were getting paid, right? So you have to understand, like, the scene is there are not many professional raiding guilds, if at all, in World of Warcraft. It's just, they're big. The guilds are big. It's a lot of fucking people. It was like trying to pay it's like trying to pay a 10-man Battlefield team back in the day. When it was like 10v10 formats. Like, it's just so unwieldy, so unreasonable, especially at that time. So maybe this is why there aren't too many of those teams. Maybe it's it's not a big return on investment esport. Like, that should be evidenced by the fact that there just aren't that many organizations willing to get in there.
It's like 40 or so, right?
Doing so,
40 or so people in these raids involved. Yeah, that's crazy.
Again, it would have, like, people get subbed out for different fights. Like, they have different. They're told to obviously gear different alts. There is different things that are going to be brought in for. There are maybe only a couple classes that are like, you need them. I think like during during BFA, it was like Holy Paladins were just busted, and you probably would have at least one every fight. But yeah, there's a lot of switching, a lot of mix and match in terms of roles. So you need a lot of people. And again, it's kind of a marathon, right? You don't stop and race to world first. Like, you keep going, and like, it's fucking exhausting. A lot of the players getting subbed in. Players are just like saying, hey, I'm not going to look at my chat for a bit. I've got to focus on this. This shit is so fucking hard. What they do is actually unreal, which is why it impresses me, but it doesn't entertain me that much. Like I don't find it that entertaining when I sit and watch these streams. I'm just like, it's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's usually like the 13th hour of the broadcast, and Rich Campbell's just like, yeah, man. So they got past that phase. Okay, like it's not. Yeah. I don't think they have not figured out how to broadcast this in like a really exciting. It's exciting when they're close to getting the boss, I guess, but outside of that, it's like, nah.
Question for I do have a question because this will help me understand this, and maybe you guys in chat know that are kind of the experts in this that are chiming in. Do you say that they could be professional players in WoW? Do you have an idea of like how much that would be for a guy a month, and how many guys on that team? Like, are you saying that 40 players on Limit make $35K a year, or are they getting like a grand?
No way.
Is it a side job, but decently? Like, I'm trying to get an idea of like what that means.
I mean, I don't know.
90%. It's just
that's just how much of the year. Like, how much of the year are you getting paid for?
Yeah, like I'm wondering, are they getting paid for those? Are they getting paid for those days that they're raiding? I'm just wondering.
What happens after you finish the last raid tier in an expansion? Normally, the expansion is still up for like months and months, and sometimes a year. Fucking hell, I'm pretty sure like the N'Zoth raid tier was for like a year or some shit. You know what I mean? And then what do you do for the rest of expansion while you sit on your hands? Gear other alts and then find ways to cheese it, or just like find ways to cheese the logs. I don't know.
Interesting.
Not sure. Yep.
I mean, Liquid doesn't very often make weird, shaky moves, so I imagine they've done their due diligence on something like this. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I mean, yes, sure. I just,
risk,
I mean,
maybe
if there's something in the water, then you expect other people to follow, right? Maybe it's just something that someone at Liquid feels strongly about and wants to spearhead as a project. Like, that doesn't mean like it's a bad business decision for them, especially when they have so many elements of that already in house, right? Fucking hell, if you got a whole production studio, you may as well make use of it. I don't personally get it. And I like World of Warcraft as much as the next person that plays it casually and maybe raids like at lower tier. I did, like, in BFA, I mythic raided all the way until I was 11 or 12 mythic, like relatively, like not too late in the expansion. So like I went hard in the paint, quote unquote, with like a casual raiding guild, for, I think we're like, I don't know, top 200 on the server. So not that good, right? But I've experienced what it feels like to have to push this content. And it's really very difficult. So I have a lot of respect for the players, but also like I wouldn't watch it. I don't think watching it's that fascinating to me, but that's another story. Tell you what's fucking fascinating there, Scott.
Would you commentate it though?
What's fascinating is how. What's that?
Would you get hired to commentate it?
The problem with that is that, I mean, if they hire me, that's fine. But I play healer, man. I play paladin and priest. So like, what am I going to do for like the other 90% of the broadcast that has to talk about every other class? Like, I have so much respect for World of Warcraft commentators because they have to know the ins and outs of every fucking class and spec and what the gear does. Like, it is insane. You have to do way more work, I think, to stay knowledgeable in that game. And you don't get paid nearly as much, I think, as you would deserve for that level of expertise you'd have to maintain.
One more anecdote for you from the old days. Did you know that your co-host from Valoranting, young Vansili, fell asleep during an MLG World of Warcraft broadcast once? Look it up. You can find it. Vansili, you still in chat? Respect.
Unreal.
Hearts. Respect and
that
hearts.
That explains why he's been here for 15 years and is still stuck on the Valoranting show. Unreal.
Yeah. Tough day there.
That's amazing. I'll give you chip for it sometime. All right, let's move on. We got to talk about this, Scott. We need to allocate some decent amount of time to this topic. So let's do some disclaimers first. I need to do some disclaimers before we touch this subject. I think it's really important. First things first, I was a former employee at ESL, at Turtle Entertainment. I was hired to work in Cologne, and it was some of the best 4 years of my life. It changed my life. ESL giving me an opportunity, and some people at the company who saw some potential in me and brought me out there, literally taught me how to cast. It changed the direction of my life forever, and it's some of my favorite years. For all the problems that company had, it was like a dream. It was like they had casters in there full time, and I did cast like a few games a week or whatever. So like I have very fond memories of that experience being there. And I was an ex-employee, not anymore, but just want to make that clear. I still have friends at the company. Secondly, we're going to be talking about where the money comes from in esports. And I think it's a really important discussion to have. And it's not being had enough. And a lot of consumers of esports products don't fucking understand this, and they need to. So we're going to talk about that. But you need to know, I take money from Activision Blizzard to feed my family. I take money from a company that in between sessions of kowtowing to the Chinese government and acknowledging their one China policy, the abhorrent thing that is, and, fucking, making apologies to them for any offense possibly caused while they put Muslims in internment camps and commit multiple human rights atrocities. In the meantime, Activision Blizzard likes to fucking assault their staff, their members of female staff, and then try and cover it up by executives. They're the people that I take money from. So my hands are indelibly stained because to support my family, I take money from that company. So we're going to be talking about where money comes from and there is just no moral equivalency. The fact of the matter is, I am someone sat here right now telling you where my money comes from. It stains my hands as much as anybody else. Let's not pretend that China is any better than the fucking Saudi Arabia, okay? But I'm still going to say this because this is a discussion that needs to be had. This is really important. So, yeah, you could justifiably say, well, this fucking guy's taking Blizzard money and he's shitting on us. But, by the same token, I also worked at ESL. I worked for this company, in this company. I was there when they were acquired by MTG, when they laid off all these people, so I'm probably pretty uniquely capable of giving perspective on this particular topic, at least outside of the business sense, but more of like I was fucking there. I saw how this company worked. Let's get out of the way. Scott, why don't you fucking bring us in with a primer to this very important subject?
I mean, I don't have any huge disclaimers like you, but I freelanced for all the people you mentioned one way or another. And I did my corpo gigs for Coca-Cola and the IOC and FIFA and So, and had to make these decisions on how you get paid and what you take money from all the time as a freelancer. So, sure. Yeah, let's get into this. So obviously the news drops yesterday that ESL and Faceit are sold to a Saudi-backed group for $1.5 billion, as this says. That was the Saudi royal family PIF fund that actually bought them, very directly tied. It's called the Savvy Gaming Group is what they're now officially called, but it's the Savvy Group, I think, that is the PIF fund.
Yeah. I mean,
but they've formed this
subsidiary.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's a subsidiary of it's Saudi government money. It basically comes directly from them. So let's just make that clear. There are a couple of layers of abstraction here, but Faceit and ESL were very transparent when they said where this money comes from, right? It is Saudi Arabian government money. They are taking their money from oil and trying to turn it into future money, into esports money. That is what the PIF does. That's what they're doing, right? Let's just establish that, Scott.
Yes. They are diversifying and this has been ongoing. This is not the first thing. They own football team. They're involved in F1. Again, they're diversifying their funds, right? Some would call it sports washing. Some would call this esports washing. And
it's literally sports washing.
And if you're not familiar with that term, it's basically the idea that you're taking this money, you're using it to wash your reputation with something else. So you're washing your shitty reputation in sports. Look at that. We do this cool shit in sports. Don't look over here. And again, this is their first chunk, and maybe not even their first, because who knows what they own behind the scenes that we don't know about. But they're obviously very publicly behind this fund. This is not anything hidden. There's no obfuscation here. $1 billion for ESL, $500 million for Faceit. And rumor has it they might not be done in our space, but we'll see. Just like they say they're not done in the entertainment space in general. I am still trying to process a little bit about this and how I personally feel as a human. Right? I don't do any work for any of them. I'm not a freelancer anymore. But I was one of the ones that when ESL and Faceit, for example, were taking money from CSGO skins, total scam fucking skin site, and they were being basically extorted by, basically they had these TOs by the balls, because if they didn't put the action on their website, no one watched. Like, they actually affected the numbers in the early days of CSGO. And ESL and Faceit literally had to put the logo behind them, or they wouldn't put the fucking event, the matches on their website. Therefore, no one would watch. I literally said,
Yep.
I'm not doing your shit anymore. This is bullshit. You can't, because these are not legitimate. This is not Rivalry or Pinnacle or legitimate adult-based gaming sites, gambling sites, if you will, gambling, interchangeable in that world. These were scam fucking skin bullshit sites, right? That's what I was very much against. I made a stand. I'm like, I'm not working your events. This is bullshit. You know, and they all reached out in private and said, Scott, we're being blackmailed. We literally, if we don't put it behind us, Faceit especially, if we don't put the logo behind us, 50,000 less people will watch the fucking match. We have to. And I was like, well, fuck. So, and I've made stands throughout my career over various things. Nothing I made a stand against was something like what Saudi Arabian's government is accused of and the atrocities and all the shit that the world gives them crap for, right? So, and I don't work for them. We don't get hired. We take no ESL money around here. I mean, but Jason and I had this conversation, you know, would we? If Ralph called me up right now and said, hey, we'll give you an ESL Pro League, you want it? We would charge them a fucking shitload because we got bills to pay and we got families to feed. So we probably would take ESL's money, right? I don't know. You take, you know, so I big news, right? Definitely in the world of Counter-Strike, they own the ecosystem. And so there's all sorts of conversations about this, right? And you do have people that are making stands that are saying, you know, I won't work for them. I won't do this. I won't do that. We in Counter-Strike and League of Legends both had a little bit of Saudi Arabia drama in advance of this. Blast announced a big Neom sponsorship, and LEC announced a big Neom sponsorship. Do you want to explain to the people at home what Neom is? Am I saying that right? Neom. This city in the desert that, again, same money, same people, same thing.
Yeah, again, it was a Saudi Arabian government initiative that would have resulted. Yeah, it was a project, right? An infrastructure project that they labeled it as, which they didn't mention would involve the displacement of like a very large amount of like, you know, local native people from that space. So there were a lot of things that were very detestable about it. Not just because the Saudi Arabian government Saudi Arabia follows Sharia law, where like it's illegal to be homosexual, transgender. I mean, they execute people. There was a mass execution there not so long about Jamal Khashoggi, a fucking dissident and a journalist, a dissident against the Saudi Arabian government, was assassinated inside the fucking consulate and dismembered. This guy, like, this is not this government. And look, credit to Richard, because obviously Richard Lewis on the Four Horsemen yesterday, they really approached this issue. They got there first, and they really nailed this. Their values do not line up with our Western values at all. They are incompatible. This is quoting Richard, and I absolutely agree with him. You are taking money from a government who tortures people, who incarcerates them for things that we would let people live as anybody else. They fucking whip people, all the rest, right? This is not, by our standards, by our understanding of morality, this is evil. I mean, and to be honest, so is what the Chinese government does. So let me just make that very clear. But I think this is the problem with it. Here's old Ryan at RBM, king of memes. I guess he ratioed the PIF. And again, he's talking about this. Can you release details about the assassination of, I didn't know he was American. I thought he was Saudi Arabian. But yeah, a journalist and dissident was assassinated at the fucking order of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. So this is what we're dealing with. This is where your esports money comes from. This is where the money that props up your fucking esports broadcasts and leagues comes from. For Riot, they're owned by Tencent. Activision Blizzard we already know this coming. I mean, fucking hell. We even have to, we run esports events that are sponsored by the US Army, the fucking Air Force, and all, you know. I mean, they recently were resolved the news after killing civilians, I think, with the drone strike, right? Like, this is where, and you know, this is where all the fucking esports money comes from. This is the worst part about this, is that this is where the money in esports comes from. Because you know what? We don't collect it from the viewers. How much does it cost you motherfuckers to watch this or any of your events? You know what I mean? The money, esports isn't sustainable because we don't make money off broadcast rights. We can't make money off broadcast rights because there's a fucking monopoly. Overwatch League managed to shake Twitch down for a decent amount of money to have the league on their channel. That got put to a stop pretty quickly. A big part of their revenue generation came from selling broadcast rights. This is how traditional sports fund themselves. with broadcast rights, this does not exist in esports because there is one fucking platform and they are not willing to pay for the content because they know you're going to come to them anyway. And anytime anybody brings up the idea of pay-per-view esports content, the vast majority of people lose their fucking minds. So where do the esports broadcasts go for revenue? They go to VC. They go to, the next person that's willing to buy an ESL, to buy an Activision Blizzard, to buy a Faceit. And this money never comes from a good place. It comes from Russian oligarchy. It comes from Saudi Arabian oil money. It comes from fucking bootlicking the Chinese government. You name it. And without this VC, without these injections of capital, without, taking ESL and selling it to Modern Times Group, and then they tried to sell it to Do You, and that didn't work out, and then Modern Times Group managed to finally sell it here after the merger. Where does the money come from to run any of this shit, Scott? Like, Rivalry obviously are a part of Do Not Peak, right? And as you pointed out, legitimate adult gaming site, right? Like, where the fuck does the revenue come from in esports? Everyone's like, just make more money, just make more money. Esports is notorious for being very poor at and game developers are known for being very poor at converting their players to esports viewers. I mean, I don't know how people expect things to be any different. I'm glad people took a stand for the Neon thing. This money that bought ESL comes from the same people.
Yeah.
And Mick Adesanya made it very clear on the Four Horsemen that, listen, this is an acquisition, but they've promised to stay out of our affairs and we're able to run autonomously. We're able to be ESL and Faceit merged together without their influence. They're not pushing this marketing onto us. They're not forcing us to push their agenda. So, okay, for how long? They own 100% of the ESL and Faceit merger. It's not hard for you to sit there in a quiet account and be like, you guys just do your thing, until a few years down the track, you're like, actually, we got this infrastructure project that we're trying to push. Perhaps you can help us, generate some good PR for this.
We'd like you to,
you guys.
We'd like you to move the Pro League to our country this season.
I'm just saying, there's nothing. I believe Michel Adesanya when he fucking says that. I do, because I don't think that they needed MTG owned ESL. They were trying to sell ESL.
Yes.
By the way, MTG also owned DreamHack. So now DreamHack, ESL, and Faceit are all owned by money that comes from the Saudi Arabian government. And even if they can tell you that they're able to operate autonomously, there is no guarantee that will always be the case. And if these people with this money wanted to enact their own agenda via ESL or by Faceit, they could probably do so. Would there be backlash? Sure, but they could definitely fucking try. But where else is the money going to come from? It's well known, Scott, that all of these esports projects bleed money. They don't fucking make any money because they won't try and monetize their audience. And Twitch doesn't help them monetize the audience because they don't pay a cent to have the esports broadcast on their platform. So I don't know what they're supposed to do. I don't fucking... I know that League of Legends, you think they make money from broadcast rights? They don't sell broadcast rights. They have to rely on other forms of revenue. And I would suggest, Scott, that their esports endeavors don't make them a fucking cent.
I mean, definitely marketing spend. They're losing. It's a spend. Yeah, so I'm with you on that. So, and again, you do bring up the Four Horsemen, again, which is Thorin, Richard Lewis, and Monty. They had Mick on. Faceit guy, good.
It was one of the most important shows I've seen in a long time.
I'm not fans of some of those guys these days, but again, good, solid reporting on and conversation about the topic. More than anything else, good conversation about the topic. And again, I Richard made a lot of defeatist, accurate kind of observations. We painted our to your point, we've painted ourselves, we collectively, this side of the industry, esports, has, whether you're a TO or a team owner, you have painted yourself into a corner with the money you have taken, whether it's VC money for the team ownership or TO side, because you're nowhere near revenue to profit. You're nowhere near breaking even with this VC. So you keep buying more shit, you keep doing more shit with your VC, but you're not getting closer to profitability. Same thing with TOs, right? You get bought, you take MTG's money, you try to work on that. Nope. Lose money. They spun you. They made bank on you, ESL. Like, they are laughing all the way to the bank now, because they're done with you, right? And now, like, we always joke about, oh, I like my new evil warlords, whatever meme you want to insert as your evil warlord. Well, they're fucking really here now, right? Whether it's China with your game dev, and your TO, Riot is their own TO, or ESL. And again, I don't really know how pissed off I am yet. Like, am I not going to watch ESL shit? And I joked that Jason and I would still take their money to do production because we have employees.
Sure.
But and where do you? It's easy to draw the line if you can afford to, right? And it's easy to draw the line, to your point, if you're a fan sitting at home and all you do is ingest free content. Sure, you have to pay for your internet and you have a computer you turn on, but you're not paying ESL other than your eyeballs. Your eyeballs do have a price. We should acknowledge that your viewership alone is what also gets sold. So, but you're not buying anything, extra on top of that. And I don't know where we as humans draw the line on where our, because like, this phone is made by some fucked up people that do some fucked up shit in some fucked up countries to get all the product inside here. Do I not use a phone? This laptop, this fucking camera, and I'm not trying to be facetious or sarcastic, but to each their own, where do you draw the line? But it's really easy, like, because, Frankie got a bunch of shit called a hypocrite, like, hours within the fucking announcement because she hadn't denounced it because she denounced Nom right away, right? But all these fuckers are all sitting there with all their fucking blood. We're all stained in a way, I guess, is what I'm saying, unless you live in the woods. But if you live in the woods, you're not watching me right now. And if you're watching me right now, you got something in your world that is probably made in some fucked up factory by some fucked up kid. What about the shoes you're wearing? So this is obviously cut and dry, right? This is where it maybe does get easier. We know this money comes straight from this country, and this country does X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's easier than the phone. Maybe it's not so hard, Scott. And again, Riot is one step away from Tencent, who is one step away from the CCP, right? So I don't know, man.
There's CCP people on the fucking board of Tencent. Like, it's just not that far removed. And I don't think I'm not trying to be alarmist. I'm trying to sit here and say, you guys have to understand that this is the reality of our industry. Like, nobody that gets paid in esports has clean hands. And this is a quote from Richard, and it's just so fucking perfect. And what he said is, the only thing that stands between you and being rich in esports is your principles. And he's dead right. I mean, I saw someone, and I won't mention their name because I think they've probably got a bit of flack for this, but they work on esports. They work on stuff that ESL's done and other stuff in the scene. They said, I am now no longer going to work with ESL. They're an observer.
Yep.
I'm not going to work with ESL. I'm just going to stick with working on Valorant. And immediately everyone went like, hang on.
Yeah.
This is they are. This is. I mean, it's not performative because, like, if you treat this in good faith, you assume the person is trying to make a stand and trying to make a statement and do something that might not be easy. But you're out of the frying pan and into the fire because you want to work in Valorant, which is a Riot product, which has literal members of the CCP on the fucking on the board. Where can you make money in esports that isn't tainted? I'll tell you. You make your own shit. You go freelance. You don't take money from big corporations, but in reality, you don't get paid for a hell of a long time at the very least. And I think it's just sad that this is what our industry has to do in order to survive, because it is filled with unsustainable products, with revenue streams that are non-existent or insufficient. And again, I like to quote Ryan Fairchild. He basically said, esports is a marketing endeavor.
Yep.
It in and of itself is not, like, you should not look at esports as something that it is trying to break even itself, because it doesn't. It can't right now because we don't monetize. It's just a spend. Where do we get the fucking money back? Concessions, jersey sales? No. Broadcast rights are how entertainment products make money. We can't sell those because there is a live streaming monopoly, and you, the people, by and large, are unwilling to pay for this content.
Yeah.
You have been getting this content for free for years, and I've seen you all on Twitter. If I have to pay for Counter-Strike, I'm just not watching it. I hate to say it. You are part of the problem. And you need to understand that your unwillingness to pay for this content that you previously enjoyed for free is what is forcing the industry in a large way to seek this VC money from bad actors in order to survive. It is, I'm afraid, as simple as that.
Yeah, and I think where this this is a done deal. So like we've all been lately. You can get a lot done with public outcry, right? Whether it's an esport thing or a cultural thing, you get a lot of wind behind you on social. You can get something tweaked. Again, the nom for LEC, that sponsorship for LEC and Blast went away due to public outrage. This one ain't going nowhere, right? Too late. Done deal. Over. So, in this new world order, where ESL already had a lock into the calendar. I won't use the word monopoly in Counter-Strike because that only you can't really. Riot can have a monopoly in Valorant. Valve would decide who does or doesn't have a monopoly in that game. Now they have a virtual, realistic monopoly now, especially with them and Faceit. And if Blast is involved in that any way, shape, or form, Blast already hires Faceit to do back-end stuff for them. So needless to say, ESL has strengthened their monopolistic position in the Counter-Strike ecosystem. No doubt about it. A true monopoly would only exist if Valve decided that the only people who could have a license was them. That might come, that might not come. Valve could also, I was joking with Jason, like, what if Valve just went, fuck it. Hey, Ralph, we're not giving you a Counter-Strike license. Why'd you sell, asshole? And hung up on him. Went, because, again, what breaks a business model in esports is the IP owner that you've built on top of saying you can't play in their sandbox anymore. ESL and Faceit own nothing. Everything they own is built on, I mean, don't get me wrong, they own shit, but everything is built on someone else's IP. Valve could tell Faceit, you can't run your very popular $23 million matchmaking program anymore with our game. You're done. They could say to ESL, you're not getting any more fucking tournament licenses. You're fucking done. That kills this investment. Because, yes, while Faceit...
Valve okayed this.
Oh, yeah. I'm not,
this.
it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to fucking... I'm just saying, you want a monopoly, you want to try to end this, that's who has to end it. Right?
Sure.
The people whose IP they use. Because Faceit also has 10 different games. I can go pub Counter-Strike. I can do Dota on their platform. I can do League of Legends on their platform. They have shitloads of game on their platform, right? And ESL runs shitloads of tournaments for shitloads of games, white label and not. Those game devs could be like, we're done with you. And they would tank this entire fucking thing. On the Counter-Strike side, they also, like, again, the Louvre agreement. Let's get back to the story, right? Because Jason's probably like, would you fuckers continue with the run of show? So let's get back to why this is also really, really important. ESL just didn't sell their tournaments to the fucking Saudi Arabian government. They sell tournaments that the top teams on the planets for the next many years have signed on to be part of. Yeah. This Louvre agreement has grown and gotten bigger since 2020. We're looking at a news post from 2020 announcing that the top teams have signed an agreement with ESL to be part of their pro leagues, to dip into their LAN events, again, let's have one big happy ecosystem together without being franchise teams. Since this announcement in 2020, they've added more teams, so the teams are even bigger. Now, what I haven't seen at all because this is what really gives ESL strength in Counter-Strike. Because you can be a TO, but if the teams don't bring the team, if they don't come to your event, it doesn't matter what you're fucking throwing. Ask Flashpoint how throwing a good-looking event is like when nobody of note team-wise shows up. Or not enough teams, right? You can have a great fucking thing, but if the pros, if tier 1 don't show up, it doesn't matter how nice you make your broadcast, right? And how engaging it is. All those good things they try to do. Doesn't matter. So this absolutely is part of the agreement that ESL would go to the PIF and go, this is what's in our pocket. Not only do we own Counter-Strike's tournament, we have Cologne, we have all this stuff. We have the Pro League, we have this Louvre agreement, we have all these teams. Let me show you the socials of G2 and all these teams that have signed up, right? So this is what I'm interested in. Again, when we went to press, I hadn't seen any press, as in going live on the show. I had not seen any team owner say anything about this that is part of the Louvre agreement. I'm really interested in what Carlos has to say. And I love you, Carlos, but you came down hard on the LEC thing, right? And I'm not saying you have to come down hard. And again, you might have had no choice in this either. But again, when you speak about one thing and you're also like Frankie felt she had to say something because she said something. Are you going to say something? Because you were very outspoken about the LEC taking that money, right? And now you're part of a company. Your agreement is with the Saudi Arabian government now, in a way. How do you feel about that, right? And maybe they've started to say some stuff. I don't know if they have, though, press release wise. And maybe they didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's been plenty of time for this. This announcement came out like quite a few days ago. And I think the first thing I've really seen about it was the Four Horsemen. I think I'm quoting Richard again. I mean, look, sorry, mate. Listen, I'm reusing your lines, but he said, like, yeah, when you speak out about one thing, you have to speak out about all of them. Otherwise, the people that previously supported you will come for you, and that's what people did with Frankie. And then she's, I don't really know what the sum and total of her Medium post was, but it seems like she was taking a step back, which is fair because she's got a newborn, and that's just insane. Like, I don't know how people. I don't know. I took a step back when I had a newborn. Like, I wasn't able to do anything at all, and I was dad. Christ's sake. I think there is an expectation that more people will speak out about this, but we are, but I'm not sitting here being like, oh yeah, well, if this doesn't get fixed, I'll go elsewhere, because no matter where I go, it's like this money is tainted. Like, and unfortunately, the people casting LEC are being funded by, a company that is owned by Tencent anyway. So like, I'm glad they stood up for this, but there's just a whole other host of issues. And when, where does it end? Where do you put a stop to? It's not even grandstanding. I truly believe these people are standing up for these issues in good faith, but I feel a little sick because I don't really see how those of us that make livings and feed our families from these spaces are supposed to do it any differently. What are we going to do? Are we going to proclaim as we're sucked down into the fucking, quicksand? Are we going to pontificate while we stand on the deck of the sinking ship? Like, genuinely, it causes me some anguish because this is the reality of our industry. And I think, look, very quickly, great point was made by Master Dalk, I think, in the chat, who pointed out that like the Formula One is already completely like this. Like, this happens all through sports, and people had so this is not new. It might be sort of new-ish for us as now we're really thinking about it for the first time, some of us, but the entertainment industry is tainted, and those that exist in this space have to find a way to be okay with that. And it's hard. I think about it all the time right now, Scott. I don't really know.
Yeah. And again, I don't expect Carlos to necessarily do anything, but he was one of the ones that used his voice to say, hey, LEC, not a good call on this sponsorship. Again, he's a minor, even in the big picture, the G2 agreement as part of the Louvre, a part of Counter-Strike, a part of ESL, a part of what they bought is a small thing, but it is a big thing to us, right? Because he's part of us. And so, and again, maybe they protested, maybe they didn't know till we found out because it had to be hush-hush and loose lips sink ships, and maybe Carlos found out when we did. I have imagined with the level of this deal of the Louvre agreement, there were some meetings, and it might have been a meeting like, hey man, this is what we're doing, like you can't stop it, but maybe they were warned. But I if Frankie, if one single person that does hosting and other casters who are freelancers who are being put under the fucking microscope, those that said shit and those that didn't, are being asked, hey, are you going to work for these guys? Are you going to work for these guys? These multi-million-dollar teams need to at least be in the conversation about how do they feel about this change in their partner, right? Their partner is now the Saudi Arabian government. How do they feel about it? Maybe they're excited because, again...
I want us to talk about it. We need to talk about this more, Scott, because the illness that is slowly killing our industry is our inability to make money, I think, without going to these bodies. And you know what we're doing? We are giving away our independence. The endemics are giving away our own industry to non-endemics. Like, fucking hell, look how corporatized the industry is becoming.
But
you know what I mean?
To your point,
and in some ways it's been better,
but if sports gave it away,
worse.
if the people that actually got it right, sports that actually makes money, if they've given it away, what chance do we have to do it a different way? What are we going to find that they couldn't find?
know.
If Manchester, no, it's Newcastle, right? Newcastle's owned by the same fund.
Yeah, Newcastle
right?
United.
So,
same fund.
So again, like the scary part about it is we always like we're just like sports. We're just like sports. Although you've made some very big differences where we financially are not like sports, but we've always aimed for that. So if sports is taking this money, and I just remember like when I used to get fucking shit. I can't believe you sell Monster Energy, EGs, the devil. How dare you sell energy drinks to kids? You fuckers, I lost all my respect for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now how do you feel, Mr. Monster Hater? Jesus, they look like fucking...
I mean, they probably have long since moved on, but
they still watch.
Think,
they still watch. They
at the
bought
end of the day,
they never went anywhere. They just like to bitch, right?
I know you're not sure how to feel. I think I know how I feel now, and I think someone in chat, I think you do a bit of nose, put this really well. I am mourning the ideals that are dead, that were not dead when I first came into esports. I think, and that could be just as much my fault as anyone else's. But I am mourning the idealism that I walked into esports with, right? The passion, the stories, the players, the trials and tribulations, the grassroots nature, the labor of love that our industry was, I think is gone. And I honestly think it's long gone. And I just didn't know. And I've been fucking, just kind of ignorant of it the whole time. It's a fucking tough pill to swallow because, we all did this because we wanted to feel like we were part of something that meant something, that was important, that wasn't just fake and propped up and a way for people to wash their dirty laundry, you know what I mean? But that is what it is, like any other entertainment product. And yeah, I had to accept that. I've just moved on with my life and but I'm more than that, man. I really do. I think Pansy tweeted something that was similar to that as well.
That's very similar.
This is the way. I mean, this might not have always been the way things had to be, but it is now. I definitely think we painted ourselves into this corner.
Yep.
And I don't know where we go from here. I don't know if I'm going to be part of it in the longer term, but for now I need to be because I need to feed my fucking son and partner. So it is what it is, man. But it is devastating. I'm devastated.
Yeah, and I think for me, like the end of innocence happened years ago for me when I got into helping players and contracts and quitting EG because of, again, just this team side of it and not really liking it anymore and seeing, like, once you start peeling that, I mean, again, you've seen behind the curtain, right? Once you start doing that, so these illusions have slowly gone away from me on, like, what I hoped would build and what was really starting to be built.
I thought you were just jaded, Scott. But you're not. You just see things for how they are.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought Richard was jaded, but maybe he's the only one, like maybe he's one of the few people that are really seeing this whole situation for what it was before the rest of us fucking cotton onto it,
Yeah. I mean, I would never have guessed that ESL would get bought like this, but the spend, the spectacle that is expected because of what we all expect from what a Cologne needs to look like or any big TO show, like what we demand when we tune in to watch a show now costs so much fucking money.
Yeah, all without paying a fucking cent.
Like, it's just never been monetized. What's happened is we had this, we'll build it. If we build it, they'll come. If we build it, we'll come. If we spend, they'll come. Well, they came, but it's not the fucking people we wanted to come.
Yeah.
We rolled out the carpet and they showed up. And they also offered way more money. ESL is not worth $1 billion. Faceit is not worth $500 million. So they just went, we're writing you a fucking check. We're done with this fucking, right? They're just not worth that. They're not valued that.
I guarantee you. I mean, how much did MTG buy ESL for? $70 million?
Oh yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, they are loving what they got paid because again, a fund like this has to overpay.
I remember this. This wasn't even that long ago that they bought ESL. I mean, they would have made. I mean, they've made over 10x.
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay. Well, technically, there's with the merger. I mean, that's astounding. I know that MTG when they bought ESL first, they made some big changes. The first one started with like a lot of these like really inefficient business things, like having casters full time in the building, paying us a full time salary, and having us do like 2 shows a week. That was the only thing that allowed me to become the caster I am today, but I recognize that it's an awful business sense to have that existing, and it will never exist again unless it's funded by some initiative. It was like Charles Xavier's Academy for the Gifted. It really was. And And then they cut out a lot of like things they didn't need, and they kind of restructured ESL's approach. And but they've been trying to sell that company for a long time, and for them to make a 10x on it, on a company that, I mean, I assume, Scott, probably doesn't break even at the best of times. I mean, ESL might have had some quarters where they broke even. Their revenues, I think, were quoted by Mick Adesanya on the Four Horsemen to be like 200K. Was it 200 million? Sorry. Like good revenue. But again, there's like, that doesn't take into account what their profits actually are. So I think it's exorbitant amount to spend on these two properties. And MTG got out like fucking bandits, man.
Well, here's my, I think my wrap up on this topic is, did we do this? I was telling Jason this yesterday. I'm like, did we do this to ourselves? We collectively, those of us that, because I tweeted at Blast saying, hey, can you just at least say something? Because they spent like 10 days not saying a damn word. And I wasn't necessarily tweeting them about human outrage, but more like, can you just fucking make a statement about what you are going to do about this? LEC has done their thing. Put your tinfoil hat on over there for a second. So the outrage happens over Blast and happens over LEC. That Blast deal was probably stupid amounts of money, because Blast even said it was stupid amounts of money. It really hurts us to not do this, but we're not going to take their money. So that might even have been an ownership by play disguised as a sponsorship or the start of something. Then our friends in Saudi Arabia went back and went, those motherfuckers, geez, wow, why are they so mad? How do we get away? Who's Blast's competitor? Who runs, and they just fucking decided, we won't try to sponsor shit because we'll constantly get pushback. Why don't we just buy their shit? Because you can't push back if we own it. And they decided to buy Blast competitor ESL. And Faceit, because Faceit's got a badass platform.
So
it's our fault.
Not bad. It's our fault. I will say they can push back. I mean, like, I have to believe to some degree what Mick was saying, that, that the employees, if they get anything foisted on them, make it a shoe and make sure someone gets a screenshot. If these policies, these initiatives from Saudi Arabia get foisted onto the broadcast, and I have the faith that I have remaining would tell me that there would be significant pushback internally, and a lot of value from Savvy's investment would be lost as a result of the blowback of this behavior. But there's no guarantee of this. It's the principle of it, though, I think that is more distressing than the actual, the material possibility of policy from an Islamic nation sort of being pushed into our esports space. And I think you put a cap on it really well. I just want to say that, like, I'm sad about it. I'm not going to sanctimoniously denounce anybody, because we're all doing this. Like, most of us are doing this, and a few people that aren't doing this are either pure consumers of esports, in which way you're still culpable now, and the true freelancers that are able to make their own money through their own content, and kudos to them. Hopefully they can still fight to whatever degree they can. I'll fight to what degree I can. God knows how many times I might have almost been fired saying what I say, but I'm no better than anyone at ESL. And in many ways, the people at ESL, they made me the caster that I am. And I can't sit here in good conscience and call them out when I take money from a fucking corrupt company as well. So it's just sad that it has to happen. And so I really hope that we can find a way to create sustainable initiatives in esports. And I hope, and I'm sorry to Twitch staff that may be watching this, I do hope you have a competitor. I hope that you and YouTube or whoever it is will get to a place where you feel like you want to actually pay to get these esports products on your platform, as opposed to being like, where the fuck else are you going to go? Of course you're going to do it here. I understand that'll affect your bottom line and your business model, but that's where I would hope our industry can evolve to get to. It will bluntly mean that I get paid more as a result of that, hopefully. And that would be nice, but it's not the point. The point is that I want esports to be a closed circuit, sustainable, not just an expenditure to fucking push a game, because frankly, it's not even an effective marketing tool for a lot of video games. There are better ones. Yeah. Like getting people to fucking cosplay as League of Legends characters. So esports had better find out what it's supposed to be doing, what its function's supposed to be, and I hope we find a way to create a sustainable set of products. Otherwise, this won't get any better. It'll only get worse. And that's all I got to say on that, Scott.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Moment of silence for what we knew as...
For my conscience? Sure. Can we get some? Let's get some Q&A.
Okay, let's do Q&A.
Maybe someone is.
Let's get into Q&A. If you have any questions, hit us in chat. They might have already filled our docket of questions, but maybe not. And again, I see you guys talking about like the Olympics and stuff. And again, I worked the Olympics, I worked World Cups, I did all this stuff in corporate logistics. This is so much like that in the sense of like I went to work for Coca-Cola my first couple Olympics. I was like this shiny fucking like, oh, this is great. Oh, the Olympics movement, the Olympic spirit, the Olympic movement, Coca-Cola. And then again, you start peeling the curtain. You go, oh, look at that corruption. Oh, look at that bribe. Oh, look at what they're absolutely doing to this city of Athens. Like they think this is gonna like make money, and like you leave countries devastated. And Coca-Cola is just one of the big sponsors, but with all the sponsors, that's what makes it all happen now. It's like this commercialization of this really cool humanistic thing that is just a fucking shit show. Like, thank God. Here's the fucked up thing. Thank God I was able to leave that career to go to esports, and now it's like this kind of shit is here now. It's like very distressing in that sense.
Yep.
But yeah, because I was able to go. You know what? I don't want to work for Coke anymore. I don't have a problem with their product, although they have their own problems with water usage and all that shit. But I was like, this is not what it looks like to the world when you watch at NBC. The Olympics are not like what you see at home. It's fucked up. And I got tired of it. Anyway, so yeah, we'll wait and see. And, you know, I hope the gatekeepers of those companies can stick to, you know, their ideals and not succumb to the money ideals. But I live in a realistic world. Yeah, we'll see. Questions. Hit us with a question. What's our first question? Q&A. I'll take this one. Would you put the U.S. government paying for military ad placements, oh, good call, into a similar category as this ESL issue, or are they just so far different? Very similar in the sense that you've got a business kind of use esports to wash what might be an unethical, maybe weird kind of recruitment technique. You know, U.S. military has for years done different stuff in different esports. They did some ESL stuff. Fuck, they gave Skadoodle like the MVP award live on stage at that major. You know, our military gets involved in high schools with ROTC programs and junior ROTC programs. Like we start recruiting in our country in a very early age, not mandatory like other countries do. So I think it's weird. Just like weird's the wrong word. I think I would love a world where it's just perfect sponsors that are selling perfect things to perfect people, right? But you have to pay the bills. And like, for example, if you take the military, like what we and I am not the demographic, but this world that we all inhabit is this fucking huge demographic that everyone wants to advertise to. This is what Mitch is pissed off about. You guys are the demographic of disposable income, and you ain't fucking spending it in the right spots, right? To the esports talk, right? But this is what you guys don't watch regular TV anymore. You don't buy newspapers. You don't read magazines. You don't do anything that traditional ad media is used to fucking getting inside your brain, right? So the fact that they're all coming here to get to you, and they want you in the military, and they want your energy drinks, and they want you to gamble, and they want you to buy shoes, and they want you to do all this shit, and now they want you in crypto. I get it. It is not the same as... It's close, right? Because it really depends. It was Cryptic, right, that asked that. How far down the rabbit hole you want to go with the U.S. military, right? I mean, if you're taking that money, are you condoning the drone strikes that kill innocent people? If yes, then it's no different, because you're taking money from people that are killing innocent people one way. You know, why they're being killed is the second part of the story. But if you follow that logic, then it's just as fucked up. Whose money can we take? And whose money can we not take, right?
We can establish that the U.S. government has committed atrocities under the guise of war.
Absolutely.
Right? Just as much as any of these other countries. So the reality, like in that sense, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
But the U.S. government does not have. But the U.S. government does not have as government policies the same human rights policies that perhaps Saudi Arabia does, right? That they actively enforce versus not, right? And I'm not trying to defend my country fucking ever, right?
But I think they still commit human rights violations with regularity.
Pick your poison of human rights. Yes. Again, I don't like the idea. Again, I even like when we were doing the energy drink shit, even I was like, fuck, fuck, we're pandering right, like we're selling these kids fucking sugar water, but like, you gotta pay the bills, right? So again, where do you draw that line? And yeah, I would like to not see the military of any country advertising to this young impressionable demographic, right? But what is can we advertise the company that makes these? I don't know, because everything can be considered like predatory in a way, because young people shouldn't be into consumerism yet either. So where? Again, you're right. You can draw the line at human atrocities. I'm not trying to fucking make this gray, right? There's a huge difference between selling a kid an energy drink and selling him, hey, join the military and go shoot and kill people. Totally get the difference there. I don't know. It was kind of funny because I liked where sports drew the line at like no tobacco, no alcohol, no gambling. But then they needed the money. And those things all started to slowly change in this country and in other countries, right? So, fuck. I don't know. Can you be
It depends. Are you a patriot? Then you probably think that your defense force is a more worthwhile venture than another country's, right? I think that, like, obviously, to draw a moral equivalency between the United States Army and the Saudi Arabian government and the CCCP is, like, a really pointless endeavor. And it's just going to... I think it's a problem. And I think it really depends on how you view the United States, defense forces. If you're the kind of person that believes that they fight for freedom, then I guess you wouldn't have as much of an issue with it. But most discerning people will draw attention to atrocities that have been committed by the United States, armed forces in the name of liberty, in the name of, all these things that they profess to stand for. And much like the separation of church and state, I'd feel more comfortable personally on a very subjective personal level with them not being involved. By the same token, as an Australian citizen, we feel positively about the United States armed forces because we fought shoulder to shoulder with them in wars that had to be fought. The liberty of Australians was absolutely at risk during the Pacific War and in that Second World War, and we're proud of fighting for that freedom alongside the United States Armed Forces. But that doesn't excuse anything that either. And then you can talk about the Australian Defence Force. It's all awful. The thing is that there's no forced conscription in the United States, so I guess the Defence Force has to try and find a way to paint themselves as like a viable career path for people. And in doing so, they need to advertise. They need to advertise as a vocation. I just wish they wouldn't do it in gaming, but I can understand why they would, especially now with so much warfare being conducted at long distance, and favoring people with skill sets like spatial awareness and hand-eye coordination, things like fucking drone strikes against innocent people. So it's all very distasteful. But again, I guess that's the way it is. It's another issue where like trying to draw a moral equivalency between, any of those things is really bad. You should just probably be honest with yourself about where the money's coming from and accept maybe if there is a necessity, especially when it comes to our industry and in terms of how it comes to, funding these broadcasts, going in with eyes wide open is the best thing you can do, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I would like the governments of the world not to be advertising in my esports. That's probably pretty easy to say, no matter what you want to advertise. Just, stick to being a government. Stay out of the commercial. Let's just, Next question. Oh, good. Because I was trying to figure out if we're going to have enough to talk about in this. This PlayVS is a big blowing thing story blowing thing in college and high school more particularly. What are your thoughts on the way PlayVS is trying to profit off the data? Oh, can you put that back up? Well, I think you read the tweet. Data of minors and monopolizing the K-12 esports space. Thank you, Halo Flyer, because this stuff was all popping last week, and Jason and I were debating if we were going to segment it or how we want to cover it. I want to do a fucking college roundtable and get some fucking people smarter than me about high school and college esports and in a room and chat about this topic. Because Mitch, do you know anything about this? Ready to fill you in on this bullshit?
Not a thing.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know anything about it.
So PlayVS is a tournament. Matchmaking is the wrong word. It's a tournament site. It is a website. It organizes high schoolers playing in their teams' esports, right? So this guy makes a deal with I'm probably gonna get the fucking acronym wrong, but it's like the National High School Sports Association. It's the NS something something. It's basically a nonprofit organization here in America that 20,000 high schools all belong to, and it basically is like the NC2A of high school. So it regulates how you do football and basketball and baseball, all the different sports, all the different activities within the high school environment. This org manages, and if you're a high school, you deal with them for your different sports, all right? Similar to the NC2A in college sports. So PlayVS got apparently an exclusive deal from this organization to represent any and all esports with X amount of games in any high school competitive market. So if you're playing in leagues, not like little one-off tournaments, but if your club or your school is playing in esports leagues for Riot Games, for Activision Blizzard games, and I think there was a third, maybe it was Smash, you have to pay them and use their service. They have a monopoly on it. So I'm, Horizon High School, and my Valorant team is in the Sunnyside League. Well, that's run by PlayVS. Our guys have to pay $10 every 2 weeks or whatever it is to play. We use 65 a season to use the website. It's all, the brackets, all that's there, right? But it's exclusive. And what's happened, the drama out of it is basically... He's basically, it's kind of what we just talked about in the sense of like pandering to people, because what he's done is he's taken this deal and gone and gotten VC and then given fucking podcasts where he says, hey, bro, I got all the kids, they're all in my pocket. What do you want me to fucking sell them? So talk about selling fucking energy drinks to kids. This guy is the path to that. If you want to sell into his leagues, because again, you can't play Valorant. So what he's doing is he's starting to strong arm. He's starting to drop cease and desists on schools and school districts that are not using his shit, right? And now there's pushback going back and forth. People are saying you don't have the exclusive right to Activision Blizzard games. He's saying, no, I do. For league games, you can do one-offs, but if you're in a league structure, you got to pay us. But we'll let you in for free for the first season, first season. And then I guess the seasons are really short. So it's a fucking money scam. $65, then another $65, then another $65, then another $65, right? And parents are pushing back. School districts are pushing back. Because again, there's no money. You have teachers that have to buy their own fucking pencils. So, these esports programs that are trying to, that one, adult who's trying to help the esports club, who has to go to their principal and their boss is going, man, I need some keyboards or maybe some tables, and my kid's got to pay. It's just a fucking nightmare, right? So, the education system is basically being raked over the coals, at least high school. I don't know. It sounds like PlayVS has nothing to do with college. College is its own, sticky wicket of who has exclusives and who's selling leagues. And because basically the game devs have given this guy the exclusive, so they've obviously getting paid by... He got VC, probably paid the devs or somehow got the deal, paid this school, this overarching district thing, or just made the deal, and he's making bank, giving podcasts, living large is how I got all the VC. And again, he leveraged the fact he has the exclusives to all these students' eyeballs, and everyone's pissed about it. Now, people are saying he's selling the actual data he's collecting. I don't think he's doing that at all. I don't think he's selling data. You don't need to sell the data when you've got it and you've got the platform the kid has to come to every day. I know exactly what game you play. I know your demographic. All I got to do is grab a few more things off that website. I am using that data to sell advertising to you, but I'm not selling your actual data. But I'm using the data to sell into you because I own the demographic. Really shady, really kind of fucking creepy. I had some people DMing me and tweeting me some stuff. Jason's got some people. So this might turn into a bigger story. We maybe get an interview going. We'll see if he gets sued or what happens. There's been some pushback this week. I think it's fucked up. To answer the question, I think it's really fucked up. High school and college, in some weird way, are trying to become the farm systems that we maybe don't even need, right? In some weird way. But I love the idea of an experience of a kid who might have aptitude at a game, that it starts in he plays for his high school club. Like, I was a kid in high school that was too short to play sports, right? But I loved sports, right? But again, wiry little 5'5" kid, right? Played freshman basketball, that was it. Sat on the bench, right? Got in the last 2 minutes because everyone gets to play, right? But, so I very quickly in my high school career said, what the fuck can I do? Because I love this shit. I want to be a supporter. I became the student manager of all my sports teams, right? I learned how to tape ankles. I learned how to I was a sports... I went on all the away games. I was the kid that fucking brought the water coolers out and here's your water. Did all that bullshit. You know what that led to? Full ride scholarship at UNLV, working for Jerry Tarkanian and his basketball program, right? Full ride scholarship, right? To do the same kind of shit, but in college, right? So, again, I found my niche in high school sports without being an athlete is what I'm trying to say. And so I love the idea that you've got this set of high school students that aren't jocks, aren't going to be involved in that whatsoever, that maybe have a way to wear that fucking varsity letter, to maybe support their school in a different way. And debate clubs do it, chess clubs do it. But esports is that competition element that we relate right to sports, right? So the fact that all these fucking barriers of entry are being put up is just really fucked up. And college is its own fucked up mess between the NC2A and how that works. And college is a business, right? Like, so you can't it's a business, right? So like IMG owns the logos of a lot of schools and they rep those logos and you can't just wear those on an esports team. There's red tape involved. Whole different thing when it gets to college esports, right? But this really, really pisses me off because, God damn it, there should be no barrier of entries. And that kid that is looking for a place to belong, like, it might be as a coach, as a player, as a helper of that club, of that team. And like, how fucking dare you, like, try to like gas up your own VC and like how dare you? Why are you gatekeeping fucking high school esports, man? Fucked up shit. So here's some shit like that is being tweeted out that you saw, right? And it's just, we'll see what happens. I imagine his deals with the game devs are not in perpetuity. So eventually, whatever exclusivity this guy has is gonna go away. And you know, and we'll see what happens to Play Versus. Maybe they just fold up because like sending like strong-armed emails about ceasing and desisting and like it's just fucked up. It's fucking high school, man. And again, to the point where teachers don't make any money, the advisors that are part of these clubs make no money, and they're volunteering their extra hours to help esports kids. It's just like, how dare you, Delane? Like you can say that you're not fucking selling the data, but you're fucking up what could be high. And again, what's waiting for you at the end of high school esports? Playing for the Saudi Arabian government.
Fuck me.
Or China.
Dead.
Or China. I don't know. I don't even, like, so the golden ring that you're... Why am I fighting for high school esports if it leads to that shit at the end? I don't know. But yeah, it's a really... Education esports is a really interesting topic for me right now. And I got Garvey's a good friend of mine at Twitch, right? He runs all education at Twitch. And, you know, some really good conversations so far. And I actually want to do that, try to do some sort of round table unrelated to this show where we get a bunch of these people. Maybe we get this Delane guy to come explain why he feels monopolizing and fucking strong-arming high school students is the way to go. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on something like that. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, one more question. Sorry, we're not done yet. Maybe it's a fun, happy one. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Frost Giant is building an RTS in Unreal, but is the genre dead? And this might have come up because Frost Giant just announced yesterday, Mitch, or the day before, $25 million raise for the studio. Are you familiar with Frost Giant? Do you know these people? You all. I know you know Activision Blizzard guy doesn't mean. You're an RTS guy.
Frost? No, I get it mixed up with Sunspear, who are also making RTS.
Yeah, so this is a couple of the ex-Tims. Two guys named Tim run this company. Blizzard guys. Making
the genre's dead.
Yeah,
it's fucking dead. Like,
and is it dead?
Look at wasn't there a New Age of Empires recently?
New Age of Empires.
It literally was a New Age of Empires game. and Lyric and shit played it for a few days, and then what? I'm sorry. I don't think there's a fucking. I don't think there's an appetite for this genre unless they do something that's just really different and unique. Like people. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The first esport I learned to watch was StarCraft. I used to watch HD and Pay News at StarCraft. That was where I began.
Oh, jeez.
And then I got into Artosis, and then I went from there. That's where I sort of got into esports. Just hard. A lot of assumed knowledge. Like what's going on is not necessarily always clear at all. In fact, I used to have to sit with a pro, like I used to have to sit with like Todd, and he would have to fucking tell me what was going on. Or Kalaris or someone or whatever to explain what the fuck was happening. And I'm like, kind of dumb, but not like that dumb, right? I don't see there being like a hunger for this genre. I'm willing to be wrong, Scott. I just don't think I am. Sunspear are doing the same thing. They're making an RTS. Immortal Gates of Fire, I think it's called. Show me the demand. The people that demand this are the people that are making the fucking games, and a small subset of people that have a lot of nostalgia about the RTS genre. But how are they going to make it accessible enough to people with attention spans so short they barely have the time to crank some 90s in Fortnite before getting shit on by a 12-year-old with a fucking pump action shotgun and just queuing up again? I just don't think the genre has legs right now.
Yeah, now are you talking, let's clarify, legs as a esport watchable tournament thing, or genre as a game that people will play and just be a video game? Because remember, there was a world where we just played fucking video games, right? So do you think it'll be a popular video game, or the genre as a video game is fucked? Or it'll be a decent game, people will play it like, AoE is.
But Fish Sticks in the chat. I love you, Ben. I fucking love you, Ben. Sorry, there is no way that StarCraft is fucking easy to understand than as fucked as Overwatch is, mate. As fucked as that is of a viewing experience. Like we can just say whatever we want. The Empire State Building is still the tallest building in the world. I can just fucking say whatever I want, and it can be true. If I say it in Twitch chat, it's even more fucking true. I think reasonable minds will disagree on that, but I mean, you can't just be like, this is. That's just fucking hard to follow, man. I had the capacity to cast to Overwatch better than anybody else on this planet. But StarCraft, forget about it. I guess my brain's just not wired up to do it. I don't know. I'm just fucking dog shit at understanding RTSs. Maybe there is a subset of people that are good at it.
But I think
it does have its spot. And I don't think, but we're talking, Mark, I love you, mate. I fucking love you. I think you're a legend and a fantastic bloke.
Holy shit.
There might be a demand. There might be a demand for this genre, but is it big enough to justify the expenditure? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not a guy that's going to sit here and be like, Fortnite is the future. It's all about the Zoomers and it's all about the influencers. I'm not like that. And I understand why people have such a love for StarCraft. I do. And I'm not trying to be irreverent. My question is not whether the genre is good or that it can be great. Is that whether there are enough people that want to see this to sort of justify it. And Age of Empires was loved by so many of us in our younger days. Now, yes, it didn't have a very strong competitive scene. I don't think it was balanced or whatever like that. But we loved that game, and the nostalgia carried it for one fucking week on Twitch, and then it died. Even Halo Infinite, guys, is declining in viewership. The nostalgia propped it up early, but the fucking demand does not appear to be there. I'm okay with being wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. But I have grave concerns. And yeah, they have to adapt it. They have to come up with something new, I think, for the RTS genre.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. And I think, again, there are a couple that are working on it right now. Hi, Mark, by the way. Nice to see you. Long time no see. I agree with Ben. I think what Ben is saying is on its surface, if you look at the craziness of like Overwatch or Valorant, like I just sit down and someone has 5 minutes to explain to me, and then I'm kind of on my own. Valorant, or those games, are a nonstop deluge of just shit, right? That you really got to get a nuance of what you're doing. But once you understand with StarCraft that this guy's building an army, this guy's building an army, and here they come, you might not know anything about what's in the army, but it's like fighting games. It's really easy to kind of watch that battle and then they back away, and then that battle happens again. Whereas Overwatch and Valorant are just nonstop battles. Because I had the same thing. I Evil Geniuses, right? I had to get StarCraft 101 because, yes, I remember the Brood War days, never cared about it. We went from an FPS heavy fucking team to a all in on fucking StarCraft 2, right? We loved that shit. And so I was surrounded by those guys, and I was explaining to me like I'm 5. Scott, they're playing fucking Army. These guys are building armies. These guys are building armies. And I played it, and I remember I said to Wheat, and he never let me forget it. I'm like, this game's just too fucking thinky for me, man. I don't want to be thinking about this in my APM, and like, it's too fucking thinky. Like, what's he doing, what I'm doing? Let me figure out what gun to buy and run down a hallway and shoot you, right? But watching it, I very quickly did understand and could follow the peaks and valleys of the esports side of oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, right? But not the nuance of it till they really explained it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe is what they're trying to say is on its core, it's easier to see these two battles going, because then they anyway. That's my take on what they said. I don't know. I'm not trying to put words in their mouth.
Look, I mean, I'll be watching it. I will fucking tune in and watch this shit. You know what I think would be really good for the genre, for the esports broadcast? Visualizing the tech tree for viewers.
Ooh.
Because obviously, like, we talk about people going into this, or people going into this build, or going, I don't know, like Vindicators, or going DT, or whatever. Like, being able to visualize, like, the tech tree that the decision-making the player is actually applying. Similar to like itemization League of Legends, like that's a nightmare to look at, right? It's a bunch of small little pictures of like these fucking convoluted drawings of items. But if I can have a way of visualizing the decisions the player is making based on the information they're getting, like you can see that things are being researched in like the bottom corner of the screen, right? Like researching, like, I don't know what it is, like drone armor, or I'm sorry, I don't know StarCraft, but like the things that they're researching, and the tech tree decisions that they're making, that stuff is always lost on me as a viewer. And I don't know why Immortals beats fucking Marines. I don't know why that is. You know what I mean? And then like I don't understand like the importance of the micro and like how like the drone, the fucking force fields are being used and stuff like that. So listen, I mean, I question whether there's enough people, there's enough of a demand for it. There's obviously the VCs there, and I think a lot of people really believe in the genre, and there's a huge gaping hole. We can't go back to the way that things was. I think there needs to be something that really is fairly revolutionary. And like Mark said, an adaptation in the genre that catapults it to relevance. Look, I think it's dishonest to say just because Age of Empires didn't pop off that the genre is dead, because no one gave a fuck about that competitively, right? There is still, like I'm saying, there is still hope for this genre, and if the right people are designing the games. I'm just skeptical, and more than that, I'm doubtful. That's all.
Yep.
and the best part is that I'm taking the opposite side of this issue from like exclusively people I have immense respect for. So it's not.
You are.
There's a bit of distance about me doing this, but I'm. Yeah, well, I'm putting it out there.
And I think one of the neat things about this project, just in particular, and we'll see how it turns out, is that because chat's mentioning Nick and Sean, right? Well, they're talking about Nick and Dan, but Sean Plott, Nick Plott, their mom, Kara, who worked for Blizzard in their RTS. I don't know exactly what she did within Blizzard for those years, but she's on their team at this company as well, right? So, again, a good pedigree of RTS-type folks from Blizzard have moved over here, whether they make something that the masses want or not. And I always like Kara. I think she's badass. I think her sons are badass. So I think that's kind of neat. So, yeah, again, we'll keep an eye on it. For us, if you need any help with your esports broadcast, we're right here. We've got you're being built on the Unreal Engine. This is the Unreal Engine. We could probably make some lovely magic together. Call us. I don't know. I don't know. Anyone call us, really. Just anyone call us, really. I think that's our only. That's our final question. I think that is our final question for the week. Wow, we went long today. 2:20. We knew we would.
This is a big show, Scott. A heavy one. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like these topics are not fucking fun to talk about, and not necessarily exciting, and not like. It's really weird to be kind of depressed and bummed about $1.5 billion entering your fucking scene, but fuck. Yeah, here we are. Here we fucking are, right? Yeah. That being said, let me wrap. Oh, that's right. Torch is there too. Yeah, thank you, Ben. Torch is at the same company. Trevor. Let me wrap it up. So a gentle reminder, we do this every Wednesday. We're also on YouTube, so subscribe there. And every Tuesday, Mitch anchors a show about Valoranting where they yell and scream at shit. Vancilli doesn't yell and scream. Vancilli's nothing but love and hearts. That's on Tuesdays. We're on Wednesdays. Give us a follow, all that good stuff. Find us on the YouTubes. Thank you for watching as always. See you next week.